Ho, 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 ho. Don't know what to do. That sounded a lot stupider once I said it out loud. I guess I'm keeping it, though. Hey, hello, everyone. I'm currently pretending that it's Christmas by the time you hear this, but you're listening to Don't Know What to Do, everyone's favorite holiday podcast. I am, of course, your host, Hedgey, Elena, Ranma podcast. That's legally my name now. And today we're celebrating special times with a good old regular guest.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, it's nobody. Welcome back.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy.
Feels good to get called a regular.
Yeah, it's good to have regulars. It's been hard. It's been harder to find people for this than I thought it would.
Yeah, very fair.
We got stuff lined up. By which I mean we don't have stuff lined up because I have been wanting to do, like, literally since before I recorded the first episode of this podcast. I was like, I want to do something for Christmas because Ranma has a lot of Christmas stuff in it. Except like the two biggest ones I've already discussed on the podcast. and there's not much to say about them, honestly. I've had to improvise, but I think I've figured something out. Although it might not be clear, especially since I've invited you today to mainly with the promise of going over something that has nothing to do with Christmas.
That sounds incredibly promising. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing that I really wanted to do, I briefly mentioned there is an album which had a bunch of like character songs on it, not the character singles, but a standalone album. It's like an hour long of like all the characters, and again, it has nothing to do with Christmas. But I chose that for a reason, and that reason might become apparent as I go over the other Christmas-related Ranma things.
Okay, alright.
So,
I have to say, I am fascinated. I had never heard of this, and I'm really interested.
Yeah, that's cool. But first, some setup. I've got stuff in. I'm calling it the Christmas tier list. What has the most Christmas vibes? And funny enough, at the bottom of it is the Christmas single.
Incredible.
Mainly because there's nothing to really say about it. It is it's the only single that's just one track. The others are like, here's a mini CD with like 2 songs and some instrumentals.
Huh.
But the Christmas single, it's just the Christmas track. And you might think, well, that track is like 7 minutes long. It is a long song, so that makes sense to have that instead of 2 individual ones.
Sure.
Except half the song is the intro and outro. The actual song part is the same length as all the other singles. They just decided to have a very, very long preamble.
Incredible.
I don't know what any of these characters are saying, but it's like 2 minutes of just like twinkly sounding music as the characters say stuff one by one. Like they're all looking up at the night sky getting ready to sing, but we have to wait for them all to show up one by one before they start singing.
The Charlie Brown Christmas problem, yeah.
Yeah. And then like the last like minute and a half is just like the song's over and everyone's just saying Merry Christmas to each other and to the audience. Just one by one again. You know, it's the like the ending of the Muppet Christmas special where they're all just like, they say Merry Christmas and then the credits roll as they all just, you know, shake hands, say Merry Christmas to each other.
I'm honestly kind of getting vibes of like... So, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic did a Christmas-themed holiday album, I want to say 4 years into that show's run, but the whole premise is that they don't have Christmas in Equestria. So they had to make up this whole story behind it of how, like, well, in the Equestria Girls movie, Twilight comes to Earth, and she learned about Christmas and took it back to everyone, so they're singing those songs. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from what you're describing here.
We gotta do something. Listeners might recall, the big reveal about the singles, the big twist that I was confused about until I realized why it is like this, and it's because those are the singles made to go in conjunction with the music, with the calendar. I'm still so curious what made them decide to like theme the singles around their music calendars. Cause they didn't do anything like that before or after. Most of the music calendars are just, here is music, or like they did with the Urusei Yatsura ones, here's like little skits by the voice actors themed around the months, but then the music itself is just various tracks from the anime. But they went all out with this whole calendar theme. So, of course, it had to have a Christmas thing. And that was around like a year before this other album came out. And hold on. Okay, and looking it up, oh my god, the Christmas episode of the show also came out that year. Okay, so they just had like three Christmas things come out that year. So like, I don't know, like they're just like, yeah, we're doing Christmas stuff.
I'm not super familiar with the history of Christmas in Japanese culture. Did it just get super popular around this time?
I don't know about the exact timing of like when it started to become popular, but something I did notice. The first Christmas, like on my Christmas tier list, there's the single, and then the second thing is the episode in the anime, which I did tell you about.
Yeah, we talked about that for Akane stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the Akane focused episode, so I only really talked about the stuff relevant to her. But there were other things in that episode, most notably, like at the start, like the whole setup is that like Kasumi is going to throw a Christmas dinner. So she sends Ranma and Akane to go get groceries, but then Ranma ends up in wacky shenanigans and runs off. And then the rest of the episode is just Akane by herself, basically retracing Ranma's steps, looking for him. But the initial setup of like, we're going to have a Christmas dinner, it does start with like the dads having this conversation about how they didn't really have Christmas growing up. And like Genma is just straight up like, oh yeah, my parents were Buddhist, so like we didn't do anything Christmas or whatever. Like, yeah, Christmas isn't a big deal. And then Kasumi says she's gonna make dinner, and they literally are like, yeah, Jesus, hooray. Literally like, Jesu Christo, woo, like they're like, yes, we welcome this new Christmas tradition.
As long as it gets us fed.
But yeah, I do like, I'd have to look up the history of it. I don't know, like, when Christmas really started to get popular. I'm gonna assume the 80s, because everything happened in the 80s in Japan. That was the booming era. That's
just how it works.
That's where commercial stuff really started to take off. But it is, interesting how, like, in that one Christmas episode, it's like, it's still at the era where, like, the older characters can remember growing up without Christmas everywhere. Like, it wasn't an expected thing for Genma and Son when they were children. So they don't think Christmas is a big deal until they find out that it's a whole thing. Of note, the other Christmas thing we're talking about is the OAV special. They made a Christmas special that was direct to video. That was one of the OAVs. And that one, it's kind of like the episode on the OAV. They sort of exist in the same... Again, Ranma's weird because it's got like the Simpsons logic of like, we got multiple Christmas specials, multiple summer specials, but they're still in the same grade. It's still the same year, apparently. So the OAV also kind of acts like it's their first time celebrating Christmas together. Because that one, the OAV starts with the dads instead trying to, like, force Ranma and Akane to go on a romantic Christmas outing together, which is closer in line to how Christmas is treated in Japan in modern days, because that did come out a few years later, where Christmas is basically just another Valentine's Day. It's treated mostly as, like, a romantic thing between couples, especially when it comes to, like, anime and dramas. They don't really explore the, like, family stuff. They didn't get the Charlie Brown Christmas special over there. Well, actually they probably did, but still.
Well, I imagine it was like Star Trek, right? It got over there and no one cared.
Yeah. But yeah, it starts off as like, as far as Son is concerned, Christmas is just a thing that young kids do, or young couples to be exact. And it's not until Kasumi's like, actually, I'm gonna throw a Christmas party. And it's like, oh woo, food.
For what it's worth, I haven't done a ton of research, but in my very quick Googling, it looks like Christmas started to be a bigger thing in the 70s. Specifically because
Yeah.
that's when Kentucky Fried Chicken started running their Chicken for Christmas ads, and people fell for it.
Oh, I see. I see. So I guess Colonel Sanders is the equivalent of like the Coca-Cola polar bears over here.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it. I mean, this article mentions that it's been there since the 1912s, but no one really cared until the chicken thing.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Like, obviously, Christmas has been around. Like, what's once people started trying to bring Jesus over, Christmas was gonna follow suit. But like, I figured it would. That's why I guess the '80s, because I assumed that like it wouldn't really catch on until the modern capitalistic form of Christmas
Oh,
really
definitely,
became
yeah.
popularized.
There does have to be another step in there somewhere, right? Because Kentucky Fried Chicken is not exactly romance food.
I think, yeah, I am curious where the whole like couples thing came from, because the KFC thing, that makes more sense, is like we're having a family dinner for Christmas.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Again, I still think it's interesting that like 1991 is early enough to have these like middle-aged men be like, oh hell yeah, Jesus. Like the fact that Genma specifically mentions his parents were Buddhist.
I think it's a great touch.
Yeah, it does show that like when they were children, yeah, Christmas was a Christianity thing. It wasn't until like late 70s or the 80s that it started to just be a thing people do regardless of religious practices, because that's how it evolved over here as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do like this little time capsule of like it's late enough that like everyone knows what Christmas is. Christmas is expected. Rama and Akane go to the shopping center and there's Christmas decorations everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's also early enough that you could still have characters that grew up without that. So yeah, that is an interesting thing.
Yeah,
But
very cool.
yeah. The second thing on my Christmas tier list, I put that Christmas episode. It's low on the tier list because it's less of a Christmas special and more just an episode that happens to take place during Christmas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
The concept of here's an episode where we just follow Akane and just see what she's up to while Ranma's having his off-screen adventure, that could have been done with anything. You know, they tied it to Christmas, but they could have easily justified it some other way.
Oh, absolutely.
They didn't even need a holiday, really. It could have just
Yeah.
been any excuse to spend time with Akane instead. Christmas just happens to be, I guess it was lining up with their schedule, and it was a convenient enough excuse to bring in the other characters, because now all the girls want to spend Christmas with Ranma.
Yeah, I do think Christmas makes it special in terms of, like, this is a night that Akane would be specifically worried about Ranma spending with someone else, rather than just whatever. But yeah, you could easily do that with any holiday. Or even, like, the anniversary of the day they met. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, the whole thing of her being like, well, we were gonna have dinner together, but Ranma's not home yet, so now she's worried that he's off with Shampoo or Ukyo or whoever.
Yeah, timeless.
Outside of the beginning and the end, Christmas isn't really that relevant. So yeah, I did recap most of the episode last time, and I didn't quite go into too much detail about how it ends. Like, I did talk about how weird it is that it just kind of ends. Like, they build up to the big moment of Akane standing up to the other fiancés and being like, no, Rama's spending Christmas with me.
Mhm.
And then the scene just sort of ends and cuts to her going home.
Yeah.
I still love the mental image of her giving the speech, and there's just this awkward pause as she just then just turns around and leaves without saying anything. Like,
Oh, yes.
but did I mention last time what happened when she bumps into Ranma? I forget.
Not that I recall.
Okay, so there is one little touch which is going to be relevant to the overall thread we're going to be discussing with Ranma Christmas specials, the thing that they have in common and why I've tied it to this album. But like,
Okay.
there's this cute moment at the end that's following up on something that happened at the start of the episode. Because as I said, There's Christmas decorations everywhere. Rama and Akane were sent to go get groceries, and along the way, Akane just loves Christmas. She's loving it. She enjoys this holiday. It is worth noting, Ranma doesn't seem to care about Christmas. He thinks like Akane's making a big deal out of nothing. He's kind of with the dads of like, yeah, just Christmas, who cares, free food.
I mean, that makes sense given the way he was raised.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine Rama's previous Christmas being spent in like a tent in the snow, just eating cup noodles with his dad.
Yeah, Happy birthday, boy. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go hike up the mountain today.
Yeah, that's where all the good waterfalls are this time.
Yeah,
But yeah, Akane grew up with a big family. So it makes sense that she's more into like the family celebration part of Christmas. She likes the decorating. She likes getting to set up a tree. Well, not in this episode, but in the OAV. That's what she does. She really likes the Christmas stuff. She likes going out to the shopping center and seeing all the decorations. And Rama doesn't think it's a big deal, and he kind of makes fun of her. Because Akane just being like, oh man, think of all the cool stuff. Oh, I could get this. Oh, I wish I had that. And, Rama's like, Santa's not getting you all that. But the setup is that at the end of the episode, we find out that before coming home, and the reason Rama's been away having these adventures is because he's been buying all the things that Akane said she wanted.
Oh.
And he gets them for her.
Well, that's nice.
And it's cute because, like, she asked for, like, 8 things. And he gets them all. So obviously, he can't afford the best. He basically buys like little like convenience store, dollar store versions of all the stuff she says. So like instead of like a big plush teddy bear, he gets her a little tiny like dollar store keychain teddy bear. And he's literally carrying them in like a brown paper bag. So like not even remotely festive. But the fact that he gets everything from her list, even if it's just the cheap versions.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Akane is very touched by this. And, Ram is still treating it like it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, it's all cheap stuff, but Akane loves it. She's like, thank you. And the ending of the episode is they get home and find out that all the rivals are there as well. They all decided we're all going to spend Christmas together. Which, again, I think leads to a very funny mental image of, like, after Akane leaves. Did they just resume fighting and then later it's like, oh wait, hold on, hey, party starting, should we go? Oh yeah, sure, let's go. It's just kind of funny how like the weird cut of like Akane giving her speech and then instantly cut to her arriving home without seeing the rivals' reactions, but they're already home when she gets there. It's just a weird cut.
I think obviously, there's so many interpretations, and it's old enough that you can't say anything for sure, but I think there are some weird arguments to be made with regard to Ranma being less a harem anime and more the weirdest polycule in history.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like, the manga ends with, like, he and Akane are gonna get married, but then everyone shows up and ruins the wedding, and the dad is like, okay, no wedding until you straighten this out. We got too many weirdos interfering, and it's like, okay, womp womp. And then just the next day, they just go to school, which, it is weird that they were gonna have a wedding while they're still in high school, but, like, yeah, it's just, these people aren't gonna leave.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're still going to be around. That's basically what this whole group is, which is sort of the theming that's being set up with these Christmas specials. And again, the whole thing about like having grown up without Christmas, that's Rumiko Takahashi's age. She also probably didn't grow up with Christmas, and it just sort of became a thing. So like, it's not like the Ranma characters have a very Christmassy vibe to them.
Oh yeah, no,
So like, I feel like the consistent thing with Ranma is like Christmas is treated as a family celebration. And when I say family, I mean the whole family. The extended family. Shampoo, Ukyo, even the Kuno siblings, they're included too. They're part of this family. They're invited to the Christmas dinner. And that's interesting, because like I said, especially in modern anime, Christmas kind of only ever comes up in the romantic sense. It's something that young couples do, but other than that, you rarely see a Christmas special involving family in a lot of Japanese media.
For sure. I will say, I do think the Kunos should have hosted. They're the rich ones, they can afford the dinner, but also I think if they had done that, no one would have gone because no one wants to go to their death house.
True. Also, like, their house would have been a better venue, but obviously Kasumi is the better host.
For sure. Everyone can contribute.
Everyone can contribute, yeah. Also, I'm just now picturing, like, I wonder if Akane was like, how come Ryoga didn't show up? He's the only person that didn't show up to a Christmas party? That's lame. Because, like, obviously he's there as Pichan.
Right.
It's just kind of funny. Like, I mean, even Tatawaki Kuno showed up to our Christmas party. Ryoga can't even show up for that.
I recognize that this would never happen because Kuno is a comedy character who's written to not be able to recognize patterns, but I do think it would be fun if he was trying to figure out why the pigtailed girl wasn't there. She's always there other times that Akane and Ranma are around. Why isn't...
Yeah, it's so weird how, like, he only seems to acknowledge Ranma when she's present. Otherwise, he's kind of focusing on Akane, which, I guess makes sense given his nature. It's just like, whatever's in front of him, that's his current obsession. But yeah, we never get instances like that of like, why isn't the pigtailed girl here? That's weird. Why doesn't she go to school? Ranma sometimes ends up at school in girl form. Why is she not here? Look, she's right there. They're in the swimming class where everyone's getting wet. I can see her with the rest of the class. Why isn't she around other times?
She's definitely competed in school sporting events as part of our school team. Why?
I always did find it silly how, like, in the Kodachi introductory arc, Ranma introduces himself as Ranma, and they have the moment where both Kuno siblings are like, what a weird coincidence. I can't believe both these characters have the exact same name. And it never gets brought up again after that. Tatawaki continues to refer to her as the pigtailed girl.
It even, I don't know if this got translated to the show, but in the manga, he very specifically, like, pulls out a notepad and writes down her name so he can never forget it.
Yeah, and he proceeds to never call her by her name. but yeah. Everyone's here. That's the televised Christmas special. But then eventually we got the Ranma OAV. So in 93, we got what is probably the most commonly seen Christmas special because it got bundled with the first OAV on VHS tape. So, like, that was the most widespread. When people talk about the Ranma Christmas special, they're usually talking about this one. And it is funny because there is something in the middle I forgot to mention. There is a Christmas song on one of the Doko albums.
Okay.
The album that they made of, like, the fake idol group with the voice actresses singing in character. One of those albums has a Christmas song. And that is noteworthy because after a while they started basically using the Doko songs as an excuse to make music videos and have those serve as the intros and outros for the direct-to-video specials. And this means that there is a Christmas-themed outro featuring the Doko Christmas song that is featured at the end of one of the OAVs. But not the Christmas OAVs, because that came out before the albums. Even funnier, like, I think it's attached to one of the more serious OAVs. Do you remember the Ryugenzawa arc with the weird misty forest with the giant animals and the dragon in the lake? Yeah, that one got adapted. I think that's the one that just suddenly has the Christmas outro, and it's so silly that they attached it to that one.
Huh.
I don't know. They missed their chance. It would have made sense. Especially since, once again, the music video is basically all the rivals showing up for Christmas dinner. It's the exact same thing as both the episode and the OAV. Like I said, Christmas in Ranma is basically everyone comes together for dinner. And the music video does a cute thing where when the characters show up, they're carrying giant letters so that they could spell out the name of the show. But it's just so goofy that they're carrying the kanji. Like Ukyo's carrying a giant 2. Shampoo's got like little sticks to make the fraction. Like they all just show up and like hang it up so they can make the logo of the show, and it's just a goofy little thing. But otherwise, it's a pretty standard like it's a music video, which it's a shame that like the OAVs, they don't get like proper intros and outros. Some of them do feel like traditional like anime themes, but most of them feel like these are music videos for this album. And,
Sure.
well, we got to put something on this tape. So, to make it worthwhile. We don't want to have to make an entire other theme and stuff. We already got the album, so just make music videos. But yeah, there's that. There's the Christmas theme, which did not play during the Christmas themed episode, which is what the OAV is about. And I've also briefly discussed that on this podcast, as well as the fact that there's not much to say about the OAV, because the plot is literally Kasumi has a dream where Santa Claus basically tells her to throw a party. And that's when she's like, I'm going to do a big Christmas dinner. Except unlike the other specials, she's going to invite everyone. Literally everyone.
I see.
And most of these are just for cameos, because there's multiple, like, crowd scenes. So some of these characters are just in the background. But, like, every character in that crowd is a Ranma character. A character that has appeared in Ranma. Everyone was invited. Literally everyone. To the point where some of them don't even make sense, how Kasumi was able to send out invitations. Like, some of these are characters she never met. Or characters that she wouldn't have access to.
Incredible.
The paper doll salesman that tries to scam Ghost and Kugi that one time was invited. Even though nobody's ever met him. The panda doodle is in the crowd somewhere. I don't know how they got her out of the demon tapestry, but like everyone is here. It's the Super Smash Brothers trailer for this one party.
I have a very short wish list. I just want the old guy who drew a face on Ryoga's tummy to be there. That's all I care about.
I'm pretty sure he's there.
There you go. All right.
Again, they find like random salesmen that Kasumi's never even met. Which she's also never met that guy either. But like I said, it's mostly crowd scenes. You can see like just, the whole room is filled with people. They get little shots of various characters. Everyone's here. The little dumpling guys that tried to steal Rama's hair ribbon are here.
Hey.
So yeah, most of the episode is just we're throwing a party. And that's about it. Nothing really happens in it. It's just a series of little cutesy stuff. The rival characters, of course, get more screen time because they show up early and then they decide to help with the party. Which leads to some cute moments. It's mostly just, like, typical domestic comedy. There's a part where, like, well, they all gotta wait somewhere because the kitchen is busy. So they all send her to Akane's room, and Akane's just like, why do they have to wait in my room? I don't even like half these people. There's some stuff there. As always, I think my favorite is when we get interactions between characters that you never see interact.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, there's a cute little skit. There's a little brief moment where, like, Kasumi needs something from the store, and Ryoga and Moose are like, I can volunteer and go with Akane or Shampoo or whoever, and they both volunteer, and then Kasumi's like, okay, let's go. And it's like, wait, Akane's not going? We're not? It's like, oh, Akane's doing something else. Anyways, let's go. So, like, we just get a whole scene of, like, Kasumi is just walking to the store with Ryoga, and they're just having a normal conversation.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
And also, she's carrying Moose. She's carrying Moose because he's in duck form.
Sure.
And, like, Moose is just sitting there snugly. Like, he's not doing anything. She's just carrying him like he's her pet. Like, I could just picture her just picking him up. Like, he's not contributing. It's not like he's helping carry the groceries. But, like, it's a duck. So, like, she just picks him up and takes him with them. And it's cute.
Does she know that it's him? I know he doesn't make a big secret of it the way that Ryoga does with Akane and Pichan, but I guess the two of them interact so little that it would surprise me that...
Yeah, I don't think she's ever present during any of the stories with Moose, but at the very least, he is transformed here in the house. Because he Akane's busy, so then Moo's like, aha, so me and Shampoo can go. And then Shampoo just splashes him with water and just leaves because she doesn't want to go with him. And then the next scene is just the three of them are going together. So, like, I imagine Kasumi just picked him up. And it's like, okay, thank you for volunteering. But yeah, I don't know if she's ever even seen him turn into a duck.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
She does recognize these are Ranma and Akane's friends or something. She probably... I wonder if she thinks that everyone has some weird thing. Because the whole thing with Kasumi, she's completely unfazed. So for all we know, this is her first time seeing Moose turn into a duck, and she just doesn't react, because why would she? Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, at some point, if you're in Ranma's orbit, it's probably reasonable to assume that literally everyone you know will turn into something when...
Yeah. And also ends with, like, a cute joke, where, like, I mentioned that Kasumi and Ryoka are just having a normal conversation, which is interesting. She's just like, so, where are you from? Like, where do you live? Do you ever visit your family? And it's like, oh, interesting. I wonder where this is going. And it turns out that's just to explain how they get lost. Like, Kasumi wasn't paying attention. She just assumed that Ryoga knew where he was going, so of course they get lost. And then they do this joke where, like, Moose flies up to see where they are, and he's like, that way. And Ryoga's like, right, got it. And they just starts punching through all the walls so that they go to the store in a straight line. And again, Kasumi is just completely nonchalant, doesn't say anything. They literally, like, walk through a man's garden just looking confused. And she's like, pardon us, excuse me, Merry Christmas.
Okay, I do like the vibe of this. This sounds fun, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so most of the episode is just little skits, basically. We get a little moment where, like, all the girls are trying to, like, make something special for Ranma, but they're all in the same kitchen, so it becomes chaos. Ukyo and Shampoo are fighting because, like, hey, you got batter in my soup. Hey, you got soup in my okonomiyaki. How dare you? And then just fighting. And then they bump into Kodachi and she spills her sleep powder everywhere that she was going to use to drug everyone. And then she passes out. And it's like, what's she doing? Get her out of here. She's on the floor now. You know, wacky comedy. Nabiki tries to, like, get the girls to do a bid, like an auction of, like, I can arrange for one of you to spend, like, alone time with Ranma. and of course at the end of the like later on in the episode, she, like, lures Ranma out. He's like, what do you want? Just sit here. And it's funny, she somehow got a bench on the roof. I don't know why it's on the roof. She just needed someplace private, so she just put the bench on the roof and made Ranma wait there. And then Ukyo shows up. I guess Ukyo spent the most money, which is a shame, because the other girls show up anyways to sabotage it. So, money not well spent.
I do think it's fun that it's on the roof specifically, because, I mean, I think it becomes less of a thing as the series goes on, but especially really early, the first 3 to 4 volumes, basically every time there's a serious conversation between Ranma and Akane, it's always on the roof. That's where he first meets Kodachi, as her falling off the Tendo's roof. It's always like, this is where the important stuff happens, is up here on top of the house.
Yeah. It's the most private place in the house. No one's gonna interrupt you there, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of scenes that just take place on the roof. This is a series where everyone is a super-powered martial artist that can just jump onto the rooftop in a single leap. So, you know, if you could do that, why wouldn't you just go on the roof if you need a place to sit down?
For sure. I think if anyone continues this through the series, it's primarily Ranma and Ryoga, because they always have these, like, long martial arts conversations up there about who's gonna date who and who's dumping, like, I'm going to challenge you for her hands.
Yeah, it's also fairly early on, but, like, early chapters like to have, like, follow-ups. So, like, there was that one chapter where it's, like, it's Ryoga's first time back at the house after Hopplesai's introduction. So we just get a whole little chapter of him being like, why is there a weird creepy old man here? Like, spying on Akane? What the hell's up with this? And, like, most of that story takes place on the roof. Because yeah, where else are Ryoga and Ranma gonna have a private conversation?
For sure. I know you've played all the Ranma video games. Is there a Ranma fighting game where the roof is one of the main stages?
Ooh, no, unfortunately.
Such a missed opportunity.
Definitely. Actually, there might be one. I'm trying to think. But I think maybe one of the first two Super Nintendo games had a stage on the roof. That would make the most sense. I might also be mistaking it for like a temple stage where you could see the roof, but they're fighting on the ground level.
I guess that's acceptable.
But yeah, the Christmas special, another fun little skit. They do a similar thing of like Ranma giving Akane a gift that's based on something from earlier in the episode. So at the start of the episode, we do see an interesting thing. They acknowledge the second movie, which I guess came out around the same time probably. I forget the years.
Huh.
But like Akane just has a photo taped on her wall of like all the characters posing together. And like it includes the characters from the second movie and they're all wearing the little harem outfits that they wore in the movie.
Huh.
But like yeah, she sort of looks at that and like Akane kind of sort of getting annoyed at Ranma, her usual stuff with Ranma getting jealous or dealing with all these other girls she doesn't want to, and also she's trying to knit him a scarf, but it's ugly because she can't do it right. And like he sees her working on it and doesn't know it's for him, so he kind of makes fun of it and she's upset.
Aww.
And then she looks at the photo and is like, eh. So like there's this sort of theme of like, yeah, we're all still family here. We're all still friends. She's got the photo on her wall. It's clearly important enough to keep.
Yeah.
And like at the end, Ram and Akane, they give each other gifts. She gives him the scarf and it's all like crooked and not knit properly, but Rama still wears it. He wears it for the rest of the episode because he says it's nice. And then he gives her gift, and he gave her a photo frame because he noticed that she just taped the photo onto the wall. And it's like, oh, that's very nice. Once again, Rama seems to be a good gift giver.
Yeah, this is not a trait I would have expected.
Yeah, like, again, he's like broke. He's getting your cheap stuff because he can't really afford much, but the things he does get, even if they're cheap, there is meaning to them. He picks them because he knows they mean something to Akane. He is actually thinking about her when he chooses a gift, which I like that. Like you said, it's not a trait you would expect him to have, because most of the time he doesn't think about that. But again, if it's Christmas, if he decides, well, I have to get her something, I'm gonna get something good, and he actually does that, which I think is neat.
I suppose in some ways it does make sense, since he's a martial artist, he's supposed to be observant or whatever, but so much of the time we just see him throwing that away for comedy value that...
Yeah, he can be observant when he wants to be. He's clearly capable. Most of the time when he's being insensitive, it's out of like insecurity rather than like a lack of awareness. He's, he can't bring him. It's a tsundere logic. It's not like he doesn't know that Akane is gonna like hate if he makes fun of her. He just sees the excuse to make a little cheap jab because that's his immediate response. That's how he communicates with his dad. He doesn't find it weird when he and his dad fight. Mm-hmm. But Akane keeps getting upset. What's up with her? That's crazy. But yeah, not a lot happens in the special. Like I said, it's mostly just little skits. At the end of the episode, Kasumi gets a present from Santa Claus, I assume. Because like it's after everyone's left and she's cleaning up and nobody's helping her.
Rude.
She's just in this like trashed dojo, just picking some stuff up, and then she finds a gift for her, and then she opens it up, and little like magic Christmas sparkles burst out, but the box is empty. And then suddenly Nabiki's like, "Hey, check it out! There's a meteor shower. Let's go watch it together." And like the episode ends with their like the Tendo daughters, including Ranma, because he counts.
Sure.
They're all just, on the balcony watching the shooting stars, and we cut to other characters walking on their way home as they also see the night sky, and it's a pretty thing, and it's like, oh, Merry Christmas. Everyone spent the day together. They had a big blast. Nothing happened, but like, that's what Christmas is. Similar to the episode, like, they were fighting, and in this special, they do fight a little bit, but by the end, it's like, yeah, but it's a party, let's just hang out. Let's just spend Christmas together. It's not a big deal. There's not much of a plot beyond just celebrating everything together as a family unit.
Yeah, again, I really like the sound of this. It's maybe a little saccharine, but it sounds very much what I want to see from a TV holiday special, which is to say, it's about the characters interacting with each other and not, Santa's in trouble, we have to save him or Christmas will be destroyed.
Honestly, that does sound like a Ranma story. Like, Santa crashes his sleigh in their backyard and Ranma has to help him deliver presents or something stupid. But yeah, instead Christmas specials in Ranma are focused on, like, the group dynamics, everyone celebrating together.
It's less of an issue now, but I do a lot of, like, cartoons, cartoon history, whatever, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And just for so long, late 90s, early 2000s, every single cartoon character had to save Christmas. Christmas was always in danger of being ruined. There was not one single year that Christmas happened without the intervention of Phineas and Ferb or whoever, and it...
Yeah, definitely a long ways off from, like, the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
Yeah,
That's where they peaked.
And these days, we just don't get Christmas specials because we don't have enough episodes for that.
Yeah, and also everything's on streaming, so, like, you just watch all the episodes whenever. It's not like, it's like, hey, next holiday, here's a brand new episode of The Fairly Odd Parents, or whatever is on TV.
Yeah.
We have to save Christmas.
Yes, by destroying Christmas.
But yeah, like I said, you could have made a Ranma special like that, and it wouldn't feel out of place. Like, there's filler episodes where they meet actual mythological figures. Here's Orihime and Hikoboshi for their Tanabata special episode. Huh. Like the actual mythological figures or whatever.
Interesting.
And it's like, okay, sure. Just weird, wacky stuff happening.
I feel like there's less of that in the manga, but also they definitely do fight the Orochi at one point, so...
Yeah, it didn't come out of nowhere. But yeah, I do appreciate that they're instead more, like, family-oriented, which does lead into what we're going to discuss in this episode, because I figured these Christmas specials, they are nice. I like them. Again, I like that Akane episode, but it's ranking low on my Christmas tier because there's barely any Christmas in it. Sure. And what is there is also in the OAV. So, like, I'm like, I don't know if I could do a whole episode on just discussing Christmas specials. Which leads into this album.
Okay, here we go.
Which does connect to the OVA, because probably the most notable part of the OVA special, the Christmas special, which if you look up anything, you will probably see it in the recommends on YouTube. It's the part where the girls sing. They do a little karaoke thing at the Christmas party, which it's funny because, like, they have to get the Doko characters to do it. So they're like, Ranma, come sing with us. Come on, we got the bucket of water and the dress. We're going to do a little, like, Christmas thing. And Ranma's like, no way, I'm not going to do that. Singing's for girls. And then they just splash him anyways. And then they do the song. And it's funny because I'm like, these characters are they bring Shampoo in because that's what the little idol group does. They have Shampoo's voice actress there. But it's weird in universe that it's like, it would make sense for them just to be the Tendo daughters. It doesn't make sense that they would drag in Shampoo, but then ignore the other girls that are already there. Like, how does Ukyo feel when she sees them get on stage? It's like, why didn't they ask me? What's going on?
I feel like I could see Ukyo not wanting to get on stage and perform. That seems...
Maybe. But also the fact that they have to force Ranma. They're like, Ranma, you have to do it. And then they drag him in, even though he doesn't want to perform either. Which, I guess it makes more sense if Akane and Nabiki are gonna force somebody. It makes sense to drag in Ranma, then force Ukyo to do something against her will.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, all of this is just an excuse to have an in-universe Doko song. And it's really cute. It's a really cute segment. They sing a cover of Equal Romance, which was the second ending theme to the show. I love the visuals of Ranma Rama didn't want to do it, but when they're on stage, he's like clutching the microphone with both hands. His mouth is opening super wide. He looks so nervous. It's adorable. And like, once you see that, I'm like, well, now you can't unpicture that for like, there's 2 whole albums of Doko songs. It's very cute. But yeah, that little like music or performance is probably the most noteworthy thing about it, because it's a big deal. That's where they put all the budget. You see it in all the thumbnails. And it's also interesting because the song that they sang is not in any of the Doko albums.
Ha!
It's only in this album, the Fighting Songs Karuta album. So, this album, it's called Fighting Songs Karuta.
Okay.
This album feels like it was recorded in universe during this Christmas party. And the fact that it includes the Doko song of them singing the song from the Christmas special, I feel is intentional, even though this came out earlier. And so, like, the setup for this album, Karuta is like a type of Japanese playing cards, similar to like Hanafuda cards, or, there's dozens of those types of, Japanese card games.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, I'm showing you the album, like the album cover.
Yeah.
You could see what I mean when I say this feels like it was recorded during the party, because the whole setup is everyone's got these cards. You see the dad in the background with the mic, like he's singing karaoke. Like, it's just a family get-together with cards. Except everyone's invited, because everyone gets songs in this album. It's like, again, it feels like Kasumi went around during the party just to be like, do you want to record something for the album we're making? Or something. That's what it feels like. Again, this album came out before the Christmas special, but the fact that the album does contain a cover by Doko.
Yeah.
Which they then included in the Christmas special, and it wasn't in any of the Doko albums. In fact, hold on, when did the Doko albums come out? Now I need to know.
While you're looking, I feel like I should note that on this album cover, Shampoo is there in cat form, and Rama does not seem to care. He cares more about winning this card game than he does about being afraid of cats.
He might not know that she's there, and then he turns around and sees her, and then freaks out, and then loses, and then the dad's like, that counts. So yeah, I'm not sure what the pipeline was, if they knew that they were going to use this song, because it seems like this album came out around the same time as the Doko albums, and they just figured, I guess we'll put one song in the Fighting Songs Karuta album, just so we have at least one good song. I don't know. Even though a lot of these voice actors are good singers. But yeah, so this album is basically that. Most of the songs are very short. There's some actual songs, namely covers of the various Ranma themes, but also there's a lot of little like skit songs, like little like 30 to 40 second songs that are just jokes, and then we move on to the next thing. Sure. And it's, like I said, it has the feeling of like they're throwing a party and the entire cast is there, and this is just little vignettes of what people are doing. Like, for each of these songs, you can picture that like 5 feet from them is what you're seeing on the album cover of like Ranma and Ryoga and Genma fighting over these little playing cards. And over in that corner, Kasumi's serving someone tea. Like, it's just the whole dojo filled with stuff going on as they throw a big party, which is what they did in the Christmas special.
Right. It sounds great.
So, that's it. Now that I spent the first half of this podcast episode doing the setup to justify why I'm covering this non-Christmas thing for Christmas, cause again, there's not enough Christmas stuff to talk about, but we do got this, and I don't know what would be the best way to do this, to like edit this in, if because there's a lot of tracks here, but again, most of them are less than a minute long. So like, I don't know, I'll let my future self worry about how this is all going to be edited together. But I just want to get into some of these tracks. Oh, also, unrelated. While I was preparing for this, I found out there is a Zettai Part 1!
Hey! Okay, incredible.
And it does connect to something that happens in this album, which I'm gonna get into when it comes up. But it does exist. And as you can see, it's the thumbnail for the YouTube upload is for like the best of collection.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, might have explained why I couldn't find this, because it was pretty much impossible to search anything without just getting Ranma stuff or the Zettai Part 2 in the results.
So was this specifically made for Ranma, or...?
No, this is just the singer that sang Ranma, that sang Zettai Part 2.
Fascinating.
Also sang this. They're just both called Zettai.
Okay, cool. Listen, I'm not a singer, I'm not a professional musician or whatever, but I feel like if I got hired to write the theme song to a show, I wouldn't just make a sequel to another song that I had already put out.
Well, as most of these were, like, I do explain in, like, the history of, like, the Ranma music, most of these songs were, like, Kitty Films has, like, a contract with Pony Canyon,
I guess
the
that's
record
fair,
label, because they used to do, like, scores for films and TV dramas, and they occasionally need, like, vocals or something like that. So if we already got the contract and we need music for the anime, then just ask Pony Canyon, hey, can you license some songs to us? Do you have any new artists with a song you want to push? Like, most anime songs in general weren't made with that anime in mind. It is just like the anime industry and the music industry kind of like shaking each other's hands to promote each other.
Yeah, fair. Sometimes I forget that it doesn't work quite the same as it does over here.
Yeah. In fairness, the very first Ranma opening has Ranma's name in it. That one was written for Ranma. So we do sometimes get those. But anyways, on to this album. So the very first song is literally just a skit of them finding the cards.
Yeah.
Just setting up, like, yeah, we're just having a party. Probably going to be a lot of downtime. Again, I'll let my future self deal with that.
We can probably cut a lot of these. I have nothing to say about this, honestly, because I don't know what they're saying. I get the vibe because I know the series, but...
Most of these, I don't think we're going to have much to say. Again, a lot of these are songs where, like, when are they ever going to come up? You know? I want to cover them somewhere, but, like, oh. Of note, with one of these tracks, there is a single called Pandas Can't Sing. That's pretty much the exact same joke as the second track on this album.
Huh.
Which is... Gedma's a panda. Pandas can't sing. So, it's just him making panda noises.
Okay, I love that.
And it's cute.
Yeah, oh, that's adorable, and it's a joke that gets used several times in just the first few chapters of the comic, so I love it.
Yeah. But then eventually we get the first actual song, which, funny enough, is Present. The actual ending this is from was not our favorite when we ranked those, if you recall.
Yeah, no. I remember that.
Yeah. But at least here, this is honestly a good cover. Ryoka's got a decent singing voice, honestly.
I think I like it better than the other version.
I do too. It's not the highest bar to pass, but like, yeah, I just think it's funny that like the first actual song is the one we have history with that was maybe not our best one. Random trivia, I will mention, this album came with an actual deck of Karuta cards.
Ooh, okay. That's fun.
With art on it for, like, the individual characters, because each song is connected to one of the cards. So, like, there is a card that's just got Ryoga on it that's for this song. The third card is Ryoga.
Okay.
And that's cute. It's kind of cheap art, if I'm being honest. I don't have it pulled up. But like, trust me, it's not the best art. I've never seen footage of them, but they are, I'm imagining very flimsy little cards if it's like an entire deck coming with this album. But like,
Yeah.
it's cute little bonus art. Anyways.
So is this the Halloween song? Sorry, we moved into the Ghost Cat song.
Yeah, I feel the first couple of songs do a good job of establishing what to prepare, because it's like, they gave the Ghost Cat a song. That's how you know you're gonna hear some weird picks for this. And it's like, it's a cute little thing. Like, obviously they're not gonna give a single for this, but if they got a whole like deck of cards worth of songs they gotta get through, they get everyone.
Yeah.
Ghost Cat gets his weird little creepy Halloween song, which I guess is cute.
It's very distinctive. It's one of those, like, because I haven't watched the show, I don't necessarily know the character voices, but that one is like, oh yeah, that's obviously the Ghost Cat. Who else could that be?
This is a cute song. This is, Find the Spring of Drowned Man. It's not entirely clear what it's gonna do, but in a few seconds you'll hear what it's gonna do. It's just Ranma singing while all the transformed animals are his backup vocals.
Huh.
And I think that's adorable.
Though I'm looking at a translation of these lyrics, I don't know. I like it better when I didn't know what it was about.
Oh dear. Some of these songs I couldn't find translations, so I didn't bother looking up all. Again, there's like 45 tracks here.
I mean, it's fine. It's not awful or anything. It's just that some of the lyrics include the phrase, "I hate being a girl." So...
Yeah, that does sound like a thing Ranma would say, even if he doesn't.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Ranma's complex, but like, if they're gonna have a song themed around, like, here's all the Jusenkyo characters being like, yeah, we're cursed. We got our cursed forms. What do you want? I'm gonna sing the blues. Like, on paper, that sounds like a cute concept. And then someone has to actually write it.
I hate being a girl, but it's better than being a pig or a duck. It's a ridiculous situation.
Yeah, that seems fitting. Anyways, here's another song that I once got wrong in a previous episode, because it's credited under Duck. Just Duck. I don't know what they're saying. I couldn't find a translation. I think Moo started a band.
Let's see. Can't stand those guys hanging around you all the time. They all want you. You're so nervous. In a word, you're like a Venus. Miracle girl, you went from fantasy to life. From within my deepest desert, you're an undiscovered jewel. This is a song about Moose being mad there are other people around Shampoo.
I said this was a cover of the movie theme, because it has the same name. But like, they're singing so poorly you can barely tell.
Huh.
Next track is Tsubasa.
Yeah!
The joke is Tsubasa was doing a cutesy girly voice, but then as soon as they started singing, they sing in a very deep masculine voice and basically get booed off. But it's framed around this whole little, like, this variety show where, like, someone rings a bell, like, next, and, like, you can imagine Son hitting people with a paper fan if enough people boo you or something.
Yeah,
it's framed like that. And this happens multiple times throughout the album. It's just, it's a shame that the first one is like, hey, this girly girl's singing with a man's voice.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hey!
Most of the themes get covers. So this is a theme of... this is a cover of the eye pain song you didn't like.
Yeah, I am seeing that the English title of this song is called Let's Keep It Platonic, so I assume the joke is that since it's Kodachi performing it, she doesn't want that at all.
Yeah. That's, like, lyrics aside, I do think, like, the vibes of the song and her voice are a perfect fit. It does feel appropriate. and yeah, I do think the joke is that, like, it does feel very Kodachi. Like, she's singing a song about platonic love and doesn't realize what she's singing because she's still expecting to have like a big romantic get together with Ranma.
Yeah.
Also, a pretty good singer. Most of them do some good singing. A lot of these have to do like jokes and skits, but I do like that they have the covers, so that it's like, no, these characters can actually sing.
Yeah. It does bring some questions up for me about, like, if they're singing the theme tunes, where is the level of meta? I'm questioning where the wall is, but...
True. There is an episode where a bunch of classmates are at their house for karaoke, and like Akane's friends are singing the original OP theme, and they conveniently cut off before the part of the lyrics that have Ranma's name in it. Don't pay attention to that. We're doing weird continuity stuff. Again, they're doing skits where like they're acting like they're on a variety show where like someone rings a bell if you're not good enough and they hit you with a paper fan or something. This album's just everyone's here for fun. Another running gag is Azusa, from the figure skating duo.
Yeah.
Just kidnapping people. This song is like 10 seconds long, and it's just her being like, yeah, this is mine, I'm taking this. And like, this just happens throughout the whole album.
Incredible.
I'm pretty sure that sounded like Peachan, but it wasn't, because she already gave Peachan a name. She named Peachan Charlotte, but this one is Kemuuru. I don't know what that name is supposed to be, and I don't think whoever translated these knows either, because they localized it as Kemmer.
That's interesting, because the version I have says, that's my camel, like the two-humped mammal. Yeah,
that's also a thing, because like the whole joke behind Azusa is that like she gives things very European sounding names. Like this is Charlotte, this is Josephine.
This is Francois the Noodle, yes.
Yeah, and I don't know what name Kemuuru is supposed to be, but clearly...
I could see it being like a Camille?
Yeah, maybe. But clearly both translations we found also didn't know. And just like, I don't know, Camel, whatever she's singing.
But yeah, see what I've got here. Performed by Asuza's voice actress and features guest vocals from Ryoga's voice actor. So it's gotta be Ryoga, but...
Yeah, also, in the little art for the playing cards... we see Azusa, and we see who she's kidnapping. So in the art for this, yeah, I think in this one, she's holding Moose. She's got the duck. But that very clearly wasn't Moose. That didn't sound like Duck Moose. I don't know. I think the joke is funny. I think it's cute that they do this throughout the whole album. We're going to hear more of these. But like, the first one is already like, what name is she saying? Wait, was that Peachan? But didn't she already, Like, they've already lost us with this joke. Despite it being potentially cute.
Oh boy. Oh whoa.
Next up, this is one of the few, like, actual songs that is not a cover or a skit.
Are you sure this isn't a skit?
It's a song with a very comedic premise, but like, it's not like a 10-second gag.
Okay.
This is basically Nabiki singing about Kuno. Just like, here comes Kuno, here comes that guy, everyone's favorite dude. With very sarcastic vibes to it.
Kuno-chan is coming around, scattering his perversion, yes.
Yeah, but like, she's singing it as like, hey, there he is, everyone's favorite freak. Good old Kuno-chan. This sounds like she's like, hey, Kuno baby, I'm gonna sing a song just for you. And he's like, oh, I would like to hear this. And then she just sings a song basically roasting him.
It does feel like, because he has a line at the end there, I won't come on stage to that. So it kind of feels like she got sent up to introduce him, and this is how she chose to do it.
This is cute. Where are you finding these lyrics, by the way? Because you're finding them quickly.
Believe it or not, this is on the fandom wiki.
Oh, okay. A lot of these songs, I've had moments where like I check something, I found something on the wiki that I know for a fact wasn't there when I started this series.
Interesting.
Like, I think a good example that got brought up once, Shampoo has a dad.
Yeah.
And like, when I I checked on the wiki and I found like they cited one chapter that he was allegedly in, and then I looked up the chapter and I couldn't find him. But more recently I saw that like now they cite 3 chapters and I found him in all 3. He's only in them for like one panel. But it's like, oh, that clearly got updated at some point.
Yeah, I know he doesn't show up a lot, but I feel like I have strong memories of him just showing up in the corners of panels kind of a lot near the middle of the series.
Yeah, he kind of gets dropped. But like, yeah, early on. I have talked before about like early Ranma feels the need to like explain stuff that doesn't need to be explained, but I still like that it's there.
Yeah.
Because it feels like Shampoo's dad exists to explain who's making all this food. Because we always see Cologne and Shampoo in the storefront. Like, Shampoo's, being a waitress or delivering, and Cologne's, like, at the cash register. But, like, who's making the food? And, like, you just get little panels of, like, oh, yeah, that guy in the background for a single panel. That's Shampoo's dad.
Yeah.
And he's just there to explain that. But, like, he's not a character, really. So he gets dropped. He stops appearing.
I have no memories whatsoever of him having actual lines. And truthfully, I don't even remember how I knew he was her dad, because I'm pretty sure no one ever says that, but...
His first appearance is the flashback of Shampoo falling in the spring, and there's just a man who's like, my daughter!
There you go. Yeah,
and
that explains it.
And that's it. And then after that, like one line, and then after that, his only appearances is working at the restaurant, and the only time he gets lines is just saying the names of orders. And like I said, eventually he just stopped appearing. But yeah, that is an example of like the wiki was just not sufficient when I first checked, but then it got changed at some point. So I guess good to know that there's lyrics for some of these now.
These definitely aren't perfect translations. I wouldn't trust them, like, biblically, but I do think they're accurate enough for the purposes of discussing stuff,
Yeah, it's better than nothing, which is what I had when I first listened to all of these. But yeah, anyways, this next bit, I think it's a funny joke. So yeah, the joke is basically, what if they made Ranma sing without transforming him first, I guess? Or like he's just singing along with the girls, but I don't know. There are other songs where the voice actor shows he can sing. He can sing in other songs, but in this one, he's like, his voice is cracking, he's doing a terrible job.
Yeah, I think it's a good bit.
I always interpret it as like, I think Ranma just actually likes this song. So he's like, remember in the OAV, he looks nervous. But in this one, he doesn't sound nervous at all. He's singing loudly. He's missing cues. Like he starts singing the next line and is like, oh shoot, and then lets Kasumi sing it instead. Like it sounds like he's getting into it, as opposed to when he's in girl form and he's kind of a little shy and embarrassed to be singing in public.
I kind of get the sense that it's like, so the first thing they had to bully him into it, and that's fine, and maybe now he's a little more comfortable on stage, but he's kind of losing his position, and he's not, like, as hyper-vigilant, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Either way, it is still just cute of, like, here's Doko, here's the 5 girls, including Ranma, except Ranma is in boy form, but, like, he's still part of the group, he's still gonna sing.
Yeah.
It's cute that we get one of these.
I do think it's fun that he's not very good at singing as a boy, but is good as a girl, but apparently if that's not a maintained bit, then I don't know if it's as good as I like it now.
Yeah, like I said, we see him singing properly in both forms. It's just this one song, which is again why I interpret it as like, he's just really into it. I think he just really likes the song, so I think he sings better when he's a little embarrassed or shy or timid, like he doesn't really want to go all out because it's awkward. But when he's like, oh, this song's a banger, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're definitely right. I think I would like the bit better if he was always bad at singing as a boy.
True. That would be funny. Oh, they got those calendars to sell, so.
Yeah.
I got the Jusenkyo guide singing like a little jingle.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see a translation for that one, but that's clearly a commercial.
Yeah. Doesn't seem. And then here we get another of like, can you sing good? We'll bang the bell. If you're not good. They got Ukyo for this one.
Okay.
And I like this because similar to what I said about Ranma, she sounds nervous.
She does. I like the beat. It's kind of like a polka-inspired thing. This is fun.
Yeah, like her voice is almost cracking a little. You hear her gasping a little bit at times. Like I said, she sounds nervous. So I like that they paired this with the little gong show joke that they have going on of like next, and like she's like, oh boy, I'm nervous. Also worth noting, Ukyo doesn't get a character single.
Huh.
Like they give them to other characters, like Kodachi gets a single, Nabiki and Kasumi get singles. Ukyo doesn't get anything. She's like backup vocals for a different song that has like all the fiancés, but she's not like the main focus of that. And the fact that her one song in this album is the character being nervous, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just like the voice actress is not a singer like these other people, and she's just like, do I have to sing? And it's
sense.
like, we'll give you a song like that. That's what it feels like, because like there's less important characters that get songs, and it's just weird that Ukyo doesn't really get represented in anything.
Yeah. It's also interesting to me that this one song that she does get is like... It's her singing about how she cried when she found out Ranma didn't want to marry her.
Yeah! Like, again, they get some actual songs, even if they're still part of bits, even they're still a joke to them, because they're still doing the gong show thing. But, like, the song itself, it's like, this is an actual song. This could have been a single.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
They just didn't use it for the joke, which is, again, I think it's maybe, like, the voice actress herself wasn't comfortable singing.
Yeah, like, part of what's going on here, she's talking about, like, making seafood sauce with squid and prawns and pretending that the sauce is so strong it's stinging her eyes and causing her to cry, and, like, yeah.
Ukyo's such a little whoopee character.
It's a very cute little song, and then at the very end she thanks Ranma for encouraging her to get on stage. I like it.
Oh, that is cute! Is that what she's saying? That's adorable.
Yeah, that's the last line at the end. Thank you, Ranma, I did it.
Oh, that's cute! See, this is my favorite thing about this album, is just the little character moments. You know, like, most of these are jokes. They're not, like, quote-unquote real songs.
Yeah.
It's just, again, like I said, this feels like that Christmas special. It's just not taking place during Christmas. It's the exact same energy. Everyone's here, so we all just get little interactions. Again, Azusa is running around kidnapping people because she thinks they're adorable. There's like a playing card of her just grabbing moose. Like, look at this cute duck.
I mean, she's not wrong. Everyone at this party is adorable.
Yeah, so like, it's cute to just, like, this album is just an excuse to have cute little character moments.
Absolutely. I'm loving this.
Anyways, it's time for more Beethoven. I do like how the covers for the Ranma themes don't just use the instrumentals for the actual themes.
Oh yeah, it's like the soft sad girl version.
Yeah, but even the ones that like, well, this one is very drastically different. This is like, it's the same song, but it's a slow version. But even the ones that they don't change, the instrumentals are still different. And to me, that has the vibe of like the like non-licensed version of a song that you get at a karaoke place that some guy made. Like, it might have midis, it might be like, the instrumentals are slightly different. This does help with the vibe. It makes it feel more like the characters are just all singing karaoke rather than it being an album. It feels like it all feels in-universe.
And then if the music you like is anything but top 40 hits, it's a 50-50 chance whether they even have it, and yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the Gambling King. They gave him a song.
Sure, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think much of the lyrics to this one.
Makes sense, given the character. I'm not surprised by that.
You lose. When it comes to gambling, I'm good at anything. Cards, flowers, cards, dice. Have you come here without any experience, you gullible fools? If you're around, let's have a match. And then just, I'm the gambling king 5 times in a row.
Yeah. They do have a joke with him in the Christmas special as well, where, like, people are just playing cards, and then he's like, all right, I'm playing next, and there's like, uh-oh. And, like, that's it. That's the entire joke. It's just, oh, shoot, it's this guy. I will point out, some of the picks for the characters they get, it's very clear they're like, okay, if Rumiko Takahashi made the character, they're important enough to get in, even though some of these are like, do we really need a Gambling King song? He's canon, so just put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole gimmick with the Gambling King is that he's not actually good at it, so giving him a song about how he's better than everyone.
Anyways, I think this is one of my favorite covers up next, is just Nabiki singing Friends. Like, she's not doing a bit, it's just her singing. It's just her doing actual karaoke. This is just her doing a song for herself, basically.
Yeah. This is nice, yeah.
I do think Nabiki's voice actress is maybe one of the better singers. She does a really good job.
For sure, yeah.
Like, it's the character that is most likely to just do little jokes and bits in the songs. But when they let her just sing, you know, like, her character single is just like, I like money. That's basically it. It's another joke song. But here they just let her sing a nice, cute little city pop song. It's just, yeah, we got this voice actress, she gets to sing, just let her do something.
Yeah.
I like
let her
it.
do a thing she's good at. I'll dig it, yeah.
This next song has a little bit of backstory to it. It is a cover of one of the singles.
Interesting.
Specifically the song Letter from China. And the joke about that song, if you've heard it, that's the song where Ranma is being waterboarded, basically.
Huh.
Like, the whole joke is that Ranma is trying to sing, but he keeps getting splashed with hot and cold water over and over again. And so we just get the two voice actors singing together as if it's just Ranma trying to sing, but he keeps getting splashed. I think it's a cute idea. I don't like that they do it after every line. Every line.
Okay, that's maybe a little
you're doing it too frequently. That's why I said, like, Rama's being waterboarded. Like, they're just constantly splashing him. He barely has time to breathe, and he has to sing the next line, and then they splash him again. And like, he just gets increasingly annoyed over the course of the song, but he's still singing.
I mean, I would too, frankly.
Yeah. Like I said, it was for one of the singles, so it's not like there's like a setup for this. There's not a skit. It's not part of like a full album. It's just a standalone song that was included in one of the singles. But I bring this up because the cover here is sung by Ryoga and the Jusenkyo guy. A weird pairing.
Interesting, yes.
I assume the reason is because the actual original song, like, the lyrics aren't exactly complete. Because half the time Ranma is, like, gasping for air because people keep splashing him and interrupting him. So I guess they just needed a pairing of, like, in this version, again, even though Ryoga was singing just fine earlier, now that he's singing with the Jusenkyo guy, now he's acting nervous. And, like, they're kind of stuttering. And I think that's their way of getting around the fact that, like, the lyrics weren't really meant to be sung. They're meant to be a skit. It's a skit, basically, of Ranma getting splashed over and over again while he's trying to sing. The song itself doesn't matter.
Yeah, I assume it's deliberate that the Jusenkyo guy doesn't sing very well, because he hasn't in any of his songs so far. I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, okay, Japanese is probably at least his second language, but still.
True. Or noting, the Jusenkyo Guide was the MC for the music video special that they released. That's just a bunch of little music videos. They did a little, like, in-universe, like, variety show type thing, where it's him and he's got Sasuke the Ninja assisting him, just, like, introducing songs.
How strange.
Yeah, but it's like if you're gonna have him do something, I guess being the MC of like, here's all the songs, like, hey everyone, here's the next thing.
There was an episode of Phineas and Ferb that was like the top 10 songs in the series so far, musical countdown thing, whatever. And they made this a full episode because I think they were just scrapped for time and budget that week, I guess. But instead of having one of the characters host it, for whatever reason, they got Kelly Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, to come in. And she's like she's live action on an animated background, and she's just going on and on about how these are the best songs in Phineas and Ferb, as voted by you, the listeners. And why? You don't play a role in this show. No one has ever talked about you. Why are you here?
Oh boy. Yeah. The Jusenkyo Guide is an actual character in the show, but yeah, similar vibes there, I think.
Yeah, uh-huh.
This next song is Centauro. Do you even remember who that is?
Is that the horse guy?
Yeah, he's the tea ceremony guy who rides on the horse.
Yeah. I say horse guy because he's like, his horse is always running away, he can't control it, so he keeps barging in through doors on his horse.
Yeah, which he also does in a Christmas special. He gets his own little joke there as well. I will point out, they skipped him initially in the anime, but then they brought him back in like season 6, and then they did like 3 more filler episodes following up on that. They really went hard on the tea ceremony people.
Interesting.
Of like the entire tea ceremony clan. Like, here's multiple things.
Okay, so I don't have a translation for this song, but the title of it is apparently called Please Listen to My Story. He sounds desperate for someone to just listen to him.
Yeah, that does seem to be the joke with him, is that he's just kind of this sad, pathetic guy that nobody takes seriously.
Yeah, and then, again, I don't have a full translation here, but in the last 2 lines, he name drops the other song Equal Romance, and then says something about Akane, and... very strange.
The Equal Romance thing could be because that's the next song. So I guess he's just leading into that.
Maybe he's just introducing it, I don't know.
But yeah, this is the song that was in the Christmas special. Like, the exact audio. They didn't, like, re-record it, they just took this audio, and the girls are singing it at the Christmas party. And, like, yeah, like I said, this isn't in any of the Doko albums. It's only here. This is specifically... They wanted this to be in the karaoke album.
Was this ever used as an ending theme? Because I feel like I know this song.
Yeah, the Equal Romance was the second Ranma ending theme.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say...
Yeah, they chose this song to put in the special. But it's from this album, and not the Doko albums. I just find this whole mishmash of using the characters kind of weird, and it does feel like so much of this was planned in advance. Like, they planned the whole multimedia thing. We got the albums, we got the singles, we got the VHS tapes, we got the music video specials, everything's...
The cards, the calendars.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things we talk about on my show, The Axe-Files, a lot is the Animorphs merchandise that came out alongside the books. And it's often fascinating how, like, the Taco Bell toys designed some of the ships from the show, and that's the first time you ever see these designs is when they show up as printed paper from Taco Bell, and it's like...
That sounds great!
I know, right?
See, that's exactly the kind of stuff I want to know about with deep dives. This is why I think it's the coward's way to, like, if you're gonna get into a series, to only look at, like, the highlights.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Or watch a video that only talks about, like, the most notable things. It's like, no, if you dig deep into Animorphs, you will find stuff like that. So many things have things like that I'm like, that's what I want to know about. I want, how many people getting into Ranma even bother with this album? I
have been into Ranma for decades, and I didn't know this existed, so...
Yeah. I do gotta say, I forgot to say this earlier, shoutouts to, Luis, which is the name of this channel. Their YouTube screen name is literally just Ranma OST. This one person basically uploaded, like, every Ranma album, and that's pretty much all they've done on YouTube.
Champion.
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Good on them. A lot of the things I heard came through this. So yeah, I appreciate people putting in the work for like, here's the more obscure stuff. Like this is the only channel, the only place online I could find some of the music calendars.
Yeah. A thing that happens a lot when I'm looking for the Animorphs merchandise is there's one specific blog that's just someone who collected a huge amount of stuff, and they'll often have posts like, okay, well this is a thing I found, does anyone know what it is and when it was printed? And it'll just be like a bookmark with the logo on it, and sure enough someone will pop up and go, oh well that's the promotional bookmark that was included in book 27 as part of a...
Yep, I appreciate people that can do stuff like that.
Exactly. We would be nowhere without these heroes.
And it's a shame that those people are almost never the same people keeping wikis updated.
Yeah.
But like, if you dig around, you'll find it. So shout outs to those people. Good old Luis. Good old people whose YouTube channels are just their first name.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got another, like, character who is only here because they're canon.
This album is doing a lot of the Papa polka vibes. I was not really expecting that.
Just you wait. At least to be fair, these are the French characters. Of course there's an accordion.
Huh. This is weird.
Some of these picks, like I said, I think they were only chosen because Rumiko Takahashi made them. They're from the manga.
Uh-huh.
So, like, yeah, they want to put in more characters, so just pick the canon ones. But also, it's like, it's Piccolo. He's the guy who does French fine dining martial arts.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's not much character there. What is he even singing about? Is it just, I like food?
No, it's weirder than that. Remember how Piccolo's thing was that he considered himself engaged to Ranma as a Tendo daughter, and so she had to fight him in food combat to get out, yeah? Well, at the end of that story, he finds out that she's actually a dude. That's part of it. But this song is about him, how he's gonna teach her to be a good bride.
Oh, yeah, that is what they do in the story itself.
Yeah, but that's already done.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, the joke at the end of the manga, because, like, the whole point is that, like, Son owed this family money.
Yeah.
For once, Son was the one that promised one of his daughters hand in marriage, and that's how Ranma gets roped in. At the end, Ranma gets to go free. He doesn't have to marry him, but then he just shows up with like, well, anyways, here's the bill. Like, you still owe us, so like... But again, what else are you gonna have him sing about? He's thinking about the thing that happens in that story, even though it already happened, because he doesn't have much of a personality other than, I am another martial artist of the week for Ranma to overcome.
Yeah. This whole song is like him going, well, I'm gonna make Ranma a good bride and I'll teach her how to be a member of our house. And then the teacher lady going, well, Ranma's so rude, she's a terrible bride, we need to be very strict with her. And then it just evolves into an argument between the two of them about talking about who's more rude than the other.
They gotta do something with this character, I guess, except they don't. They didn't have to bring them in if they couldn't think of an idea.
Yeah, no.
But a much better use of characters is this one.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
The fun little pop song called Little Date about, going on a little fun date as teenagers. They got the two old ladies to sing it, and they're having a blast.
Two old ladies?
Yes, Cologne and the tea ceremony grandma.
Ah, okay.
Like, they're technically not really interacting, they're just singing together, but also, I can picture that. Like, hey, there's another old lady at this party, let's sing.
Yeah. The list I'm looking at the very least, credits the second lady as Ba-sama, so I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, I don't think she ever gets a name. She's just Sentaro's grandma. Which is funny, because Cologne also didn't get named until a few volumes later. She was just Shampoo's grandma as well. And here's another. Again, Ryoga couldn't really sing very well when he was paired up with the guide. He gets his own songs. Admittedly, it's mostly him talking.
Yeah, this is more lyrics over backgrounds. Where the heck am I?
This was just a little skit. He's lost.
Okay, it's not deliberate, but the first verse of this song reads as very gay. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, what is it?
If I go straight for even 2 weeks, I should be able to make it in time. Saotome Ranma, this time I'm gonna crush that throat of yours, wash your neck, ha 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 ha.
He clearly cares more about Ranma than anything
Yeah,
else.
Yeah.
He wants to be with Akane, but he will leave her to go train because Ranma is his actual biggest priority.
Absolutely, yes.
Of note, his single also has a song about him getting lost, except it's called Dear Akane. So it's more about him writing letters to Akane while he's traveling and he doesn't know where he is. But, like, that's a cuter premise than just, where am I? Oh!
Yeah.
And that's the whole song.
This is a little weird. There's a bit in this song where he mentions he's arrived at the town where Akane lives, and he can tell because he can smell her. And so he sets up his tent 500 meters away from where the fight is supposed to be. And then when he gets up in the morning, he finds himself out in a cow pasture. So I don't know if this is trying to say Akane smells like a cow, or...
Oh man, I could find a fun reading there, but yeah, whatever he convinces himself is the reason he is where he is. I think there was a line, I watched it again last night. Remember I said there's a moment where he's with Kasumi to get groceries?
Yeah.
And she's asking about where he lives, and he's like, well, Mount Fuji is to the east of where I live, so... And, like, that's how he finds his way home. It's like, where is Mount Fuji? Ah, of course, there it is, so I have to go west. I do like that, like, Ryoga doesn't just get magically lost. He's not like Zoro from One Piece, who will, like, go down a hallway and then somehow pop out of the hallway and have no idea how he got lost. Like, we show Ryoga's logic.
Mm-hmm.
He is trying to navigate. It's just, he's very dumb.
Yeah. I mean, I always think about, there's an Akari story where they can see each other across the lake, and all he has to do is go around the lake. And then at one point he just does a 90-degree turn and walks off into the forest for some reason.
Yeah. So, sometimes it will just be like that. But, like, I do like those moments where he's like, what direction is Mount Fuji? Aha! I could hear the ocean. I must be close to this one place. So I can actually absolutely picture him like, I smell Akane. She must be nearby. And whatever he smelled clearly wasn't her.
Yeah, no, for sure not. No.
Or what if he did find Akane? Because it also says that he set up a tent somewhere else. What if he did make his way back to town, but he's like, I gotta go set up my tent, and ends up going in a completely wrong direction, thinking that he is still within walking distance of the Tendo house.
Yeah, this is true, because he says he sets up his tent, quote, 500 meters away from where the battle is going to be. So maybe he's just bad at measuring distance also, and so he walked like a mile or something, and he's out of town.
Yeah. Again, that seems to be the he gets that, and also his single, just focus around him traveling. It is nice, like you said, the opening line, it would be very funny if they gave him a song about Ranma, rather than just throwing it in. I could feel him doing, because Ranma and Akane both have diss tracks for each other, basically. They both have little tsundere tracks of them, like, just kind of roasting each other. I love Ranma's because that's the April Fool's one. And then, of course, there's the infamous song that just, like, the chorus is just Akane shouting Baka for, like, 30 seconds. I think it would have been funny if Ryoga got one of those. But he didn't get one in return. I don't think Ranma would sing about Ryoga, but Ryoga would definitely sing about Ranma.
Yes, absolutely.
Is what I'm saying here.
Also, Ryoga does seem to have, at least in the early stages, a strange preoccupation with Ranma's throat specifically. Like, that's a I want to lean in and kiss that throat kind of vibe.
Yeah. There's a couple lines like that. I do like the implication that, like, Ryoga is aware of the fact that Ranma does turn into a pretty girl. He will mostly ignore it because revenge and hating Ranma takes priority, but every once in a while, you know, like, I've told the joke, there's like a filler episode moment where like Ranma's shirt gets cut open and like he's basically naked and Ryoga's like, hey, cover up. And Ranma's like, oh shoot, sorry. And Ryoga turns around and then Ranma's like, okay, you can look now. And Ryoga looks and Ranma's still naked. And he just freaks out and Ranma's like, ha ha.
Oh man.
Ryoga will see like, those are some titties. Cover up, please. I cannot focus. At the very least, this is a popular enough ship that even though the series itself didn't lean into the hate shipping between the two, the fans certainly did. And I imagine there's an infinite supply of that if I search.
I kind of feel like Ryoga's always into it just at least a little bit. He just can't let himself admit it because he hates Ranma. He quote-unquote hates Ranma.
Yeah, that is basically what happens.
You can't feel that intensely for someone, even if it is hate. You can't feel that intensely for someone for that long and not at least get a twinge, you know?
Yeah. But at least the opening line to this song had that. I just think it would have been fun if we had a whole song that was just that.
Yes, absolutely.
After Ryoga's song, we get a shampoo song. Or I guess similar to like Nabiki or whatever, just give her an actual song. She knows how to sing.
Do they have her do the weird stuttery speech in the Japanese edition? The same sort of like, can't quite speak Japanese and sort of skips words and that sort of thing?
Yes, she does speak in a stereotypical accent and broken Japanese in the original.
Okay.
Which is a whole thing. There's stuff to say there, but yeah, that is how she talked in the original.
Okay. Just curious. Doesn't really seem like she's doing that in the songs, so I didn't know.
Yeah, she is able to, like, sing properly. Like it's not like... I think like it sounds worse in English. I think when you do that in English, it sounds like she just can't speak the language, as opposed to like in Japanese. I think it's meant to sound more like this is just, it's kind of broken, but like she still clearly understands the language a little bit. It's more just like the dialect. Again, I don't speak Japanese or any Chinese languages, but like it's what your stereotypical character from China would sound like. Okay. It's if you play a Yakuza game, this is what the foreign Chinese man would sound like, and people are like, oh boy, that's not, I don't know. And like, in games like that, it's bad, because like all foreigners talk like that basically, but at least Rumiko Takahashi realized, well, I can't make every character from China sound like that, so it's just a shampoo thing. And it's like, okay, there is a level of self-awareness here. I kind of like the concept of this song, even if it also has a thing. This is the housework song by Kasubi, which is like, okay, the thing she's singing about is doing chores, but like throughout the song, the other family members are interjecting. This has the vibe of like Cinderella singing while she's scrubbing the floors.
Yeah, this is the last one I have a translation for a while. For some reason, the next 5 or 6 don't have them. But this one is... It kind of seems like she's just... Well, this is what every day is like for me. This is me talking about my day. And I get to go visit Dr. Tofu at the end, and that makes it okay.
Aw.
She doesn't specifically say that. She calls him the bone setter, but, you know.
It's nice. Whenever we see her grocery shopping, the people at the markets always recognize her. Like she clearly has a social life we just never see.
Yeah.
It's a shame that like her only 2 songs are, one is the single for Father's Day about how much she loves her dad, and then the other is her doing chores for her family. And that's it.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
At least the concept is like, I can imagine, like this feels like, this is one of the few songs that doesn't feel like it's being recorded at the party. This feels like one of the OAV intro outros, just like a music video of her doing chores and just having little family moments. You could just picture like a bunch of mice and birds helping her do the laundry or something. next up, we got Sasuke. Because this is obviously following the anime continuity.
Sure.
Which is why I said I think they wanted to pick manga characters because they're canon. But, you know, Sasuke's part of the main cast in the anime, so he's included. It's Shinobi Folk Song is the title. Sounds like it's just like, I will sing the song of my people. I am a ninja. Here's the little song about the Shinobi folk songs, or whatever.
Which, given the way the song has gone so far, I guess the joke is that it starts off quiet and sneaky, and now he's shouting.
Sasuke's a weird character. They're a little inconsistent with how competent he is. I feel like they could have very easily done a joke where, like, he secretly has this incredible singing voice, but, like, he's just being a butler for this family that doesn't respect him. As opposed to this, where the joke is kind of that, like, he's singing a little poorly, but the Kunos keep interrupting him.
So, because I was a manga-only person, I didn't know who this was. Because he's not in the manga, of course. He's anime-only character. And so when I started reading fanfiction, he was all over the place, right? Because every story where the Kunos are, he has to be there. Because they have to either, like, be mean to him to show that they're villains in this story, or be nice to him to show that they're cool in this story. And it was just maddening, because since I didn't watch the anime, I didn't know... Has everyone in the world somehow simultaneously come to the conclusion that they have a ninja named Sasuke on their that's not a character in this story. What is going on here?
He's a good example of, like, there are a lot of anime exclusive characters that I feel could easily fit in, but because they're not based on anything Rumiko Takahashi wrote, like, there's no Ranma Bible for, like, what Sasuke should be like as a character. There's nothing to reference.
Right.
Again, like, his competence level, what his personality is, tend to vary depending on the writer of each episode. And I think that's a good sign of, like, if you're gonna do anime exclusive characters and just add a new character to the cast, that could go poorly. There are ways that could go wrong. I think they could have handled Sasuke better, but I do think, like, conceptually, he fits in perfectly. It's like, yeah, of course, this weird rich family has a ninja butler. Like, they're not going to have a normal butler.
For sure. I definitely don't have a problem with it now that I know, like, where he came from, but at the time, it was very confusing.
I can imagine that being confusing. Also the opposite could be true. If you only watched the anime, there's a ton of stuff that never got adapted. Like, you're like, who's this like ninja girl living with oh wait, but it's a boy? Wait, who is this? And just all these characters you don't know. Who the hell is Akari? Why does Ryoga have a girlfriend? Is this some kind of OC or whatever? You know, like, the same could happen in reverse.
Yeah, I didn't know she didn't make it to the show. I'm very disappointed by that.
Oh no, she was introduced way after the anime ended.
Oh, fine, I guess.
This is another one. It's just like, okay, well, I mean... Honestly, I feel bad now after all the stuff I said about Piccole. Where it's like, well, also with the main characters, it's just like, they gotta give him something.
I mean, I do kind of like the vibes of this one. It's like a sad cowboy song, at least.
And then it gets interrupted. Between this and, like, the song that's just labeled under duck, which... Moose does say duck in English. He says duck. Like, I think that's what he named his weird band, and they're all playing terribly. I think that's the joke. I don't know what they're saying, but, like, yeah. And here again, similar to Ukyo, Moose didn't get any singles, and his only appearances here so far is he gets interrupted or he doesn't get to actually sing. Like, Shampoo stops him a few seconds in. He doesn't sing a full song. So that might also be another case of, like, maybe the voice actor doesn't feel comfortable singing, so we're just not going to have your character do that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed something about the duck song earlier, because it is a cover of that ending theme from Big Trouble in Nakanron, China, and the artist of the original song is Rabbit in all caps, so the joke is...
Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It seems like in the original, it's like Ranma talking about how he doesn't want other boys around Akane or something, and then, of course, in the Moose version, it transposes to Shampoo.
Yeah, a like generic love song, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yahoo! Yahoo!
This next song is called Martial Artist of the Alps.
Oh, okay, alright.
So your observation about the polka stuff might have been very poignant.
You're even doing the Ricola thing.
Yeah, I also love the joke where, like, Genma's echo is in panda form. But yeah, if you like these vibes before...
Oh, yes, okay.
He is straight up yodeling.
This is incredible.
I'm curious what made them think about this, because it's not like he ever shows interest in, like, yodeling or the Alps or anything. Why did they decide this is what Akane's dad would sing about?
I am, like, 80% sure that this is the voice actor going, hey, I can yodel. If we're doing a music album, you have to let me.
True, that could be it. Because it's just like, yeah, sure, it's fun. I'm just curious, like, why? What made them decide to do this joke? That could be another thing of, like, can you sing? No. Well, I guess we gotta have your character do something. I can yodel. This is by Happosai and Cologne, singing a little duet.
Yeah.
Just like, okay,
Sure,
makes
I
sense,
guess.
I guess. They interact surprisingly little in the manga.
Yeah, only 2 or 3 times as I recall. A lot of the time it's more like, yeah, Happosai did a thing, well let's go to Cologne and talk to her about it, but they don't actually meet up.
Yeah, but like, here it's just like, yeah, sure. Just for old time's sake, let's just sing together. That's a cute little thing. Anyways, this next song is by Yotaro. Do you remember who that is?
I'm having to really search my brain on this one.
This is the kid that's obsessed with pandas that adopts Genma briefly.
Oh, the sick kid, yeah.
Yeah, he's just singing about how much he loves his panda.
Okay, well that's cute.
Because it's called Maikumahachi. That's the name he gave Genma when he adopted him. But yeah, this is, again, another character that I'm like, if he wasn't in the manga, they would have never picked him.
I mean, he's in like 2 chapters, right? Barely even a story arc.
Yeah, he only appears once, which I do think, was like a 2-chapter story. Which is like, okay. Anyways, this next song is one of my favorites, because I love the premise.
Okay, alright.
It's credited under Tachi and Kochi, which are the pet names that Principal Kuno has for his children, Tatawaki and Kodachi. I always found it weird. In his debut, the principal is established as being Tatawaki Kuno's father, and that is the only time in the entire manga that they acknowledge that he is part of the Kuno family.
I think it gets mentioned a couple other times, but it's always like, hey Kuno, isn't that your dad? He's not part of my family, I refuse to acknowledge him, let's move on. Yeah,
maybe. Like, they don't really interact. And most notably, he never interacts with Kodachi at all. So, the anime did fix that, and even in like the RPG where all 3 of them are characters in there, they kind of don't really interact beyond just the principal being like, go get him, kids, and then you have a boss fight, and they don't really have dialogue. So this one song in this obscure album is one of the only times that all 3 of them are together as a family.
Well, that's just incredible.
I love this song because, again, I don't really know what they're saying at the start and end, but like, this feels like Kodachi wants to do family karaoke time, and it's like, of course, dear sister, I will bestow the world with my amazing singing voice. Let's go. And like the dad's setting up and introducing them, and they're just having so much fun.
Delightful.
And there's of course a second joke. You know that joke about, like, the character at karaoke that sings, like, children's nursery rhymes because they don't know any songs?
Yep.
Well, Here's the Kuno siblings singing Mr. Bear in the Woods. And it's adorable. Because, like, they're both into it.
Sorry, is that the literal translation of what they're doing here? Is Bear in the Woods?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morino
Okay.
Kuma-san. Bear in the forest. Just the, like, you know, the bears go out to the woods today, that kind of song.
Yeah. I mostly ask because I know a lot of versions of this song. I spent a year working at a summer camp for Boy Scouts, and of course they use the same tunes a lot, so I was curious if that was the other day I saw a bear. A great big bear. Oh, way up there.
Yeah. I imagine there's variants of this, especially when it's localized into Japanese. But
yeah, for sure.
It's still a cute thing. And I love that, like, they could have had the two, like, arguing, but no. Tatewaki Kuno, like I said, he's like, of course I'm gonna sing.
Yeah, he loves his sister.
Yeah. They're both getting into it. He's not embarrassed by her song selection. Again, I assume she's the one that picked. But, like, they're having fun. It's just, yeah. Like I said, if you want to see more of this, there's not a lot. There's like 2 episodes in the anime.
I think a lot about the first time Kodachi shows up in the manga. Kuno is constantly talking her up and about how proud of her he is and how ruthless she is and how she's definitely evil and a villain, but he's still proud of her for doing the best villain she can. And
yeah, the part in the fight where like Ranma's grabbing a table and tosses it at her, and she responds by grabbing Kuno and tossing him at the table so that he swings with the sword and cuts the table in half. Like, they're doing a little double team there.
Yeah. No hesitation, even though he's fighting the pigtail girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good dynamic, and it's a shame we don't see anyone in this family really interact with each other that often.
Absolutely.
Even in the manga,
yes.
like the siblings barely interact.
Well, to be fair, that's because Kodachi just kind of vanishes after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason, but that's what happens. Anyways, we haven't had any covers in a while, so album getting back to this. And also getting more of what I said about, like, this is the unlicensed knockoff version at the karaoke bar.
This is an interesting choice for Ranma specifically.
I forget what the lyrics for this song were.
It's about someone who just got dumped and is very sad about it.
Oh, okay.
Or rather, yeah, she just got dumped and she's very sad about it, but she's trying to make herself smile because tomorrow will be better.
Yeah, smile again. I remember that part of the lyrics. I forgot about them being dumped. Again, similar to the other one where he was in boy form and he's just getting really into it. Like, I think Ranma just actually likes these pop songs. And he's just singing them. Like, he's not thinking about the lyrics, but like... Also, yeah, here he is. He's singing fine. And he will also sing fine in... Not much to say, but like, yeah, he's clearly capable of singing.
He sure is, yeah.
But yeah, these two back to back, and again earlier where he was like singing over the top, it does feel like Ranma will be like, I'm not getting on stage, I'm not singing, but then when they give him the mic, he's like, give me that, pick this song, I'm gonna sing this. Also, I keep hearing like weird, like, sounds almost like dogs barking in the background. I think that's just weird knockoff karaoke instruments. This song is mostly a skit, so I don't know what they're saying, but the introduction I think does a good job of setting up the vibes.
Yeah, I don't have a translation for this one either, so...
Yeah, it's Son and Akane sing a thing, and then Genma and Ranma sing a thing. Singing about their fighting styles, I guess. Again, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
but it sounds like they're kind of having an argument, but not like a heated argument. It's more of like a, hey, we got the stage. Like, no, we're gonna sing. We were gonna sing like father. We were gonna do a little father-daughter thing. You guys get off. No, we were gonna sing about our fighting style. You know, that kind of vibe. I don't know if that's what they're saying, but yeah, that's the vibe I got. So after that, we get Ne Pichan, which I think is cute. Just Akane
nice,
singing with
yeah.
her pet pig. This has similar vibes to another one of her singles, which is called Akane's Lullaby, which did serve as the ending for the music video special. They're like, yeah, they like giving Akane these little slow lullaby type songs. I don't know how I feel about that, but like the fact that I now have 2 nickels is worth noting.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Actually, 3, because one of the music calendars was themed around Akane writing in her diary, and she's just talking to Pichan as she just writes, and then the music plays. And like, she's technically not singing in that, but it's, same vibes.
Oh. Okay, so I do have a translation on this one. This is fun.
Oh, time to learn.
Close your eyes, Pichan. I'll give you a kiss. That you've become a stray fellow. You're quite like Ryoga. What do you think of Ranma? He's violent and unkind, isn't he? But I don't think I will give him to other girls. Pichan, you're crying. I'll be taking a bath soon. Let's go together. Why are you running away?
Okay. So this is more of a skit than I thought. I thought this was just a typical lullaby.
It is a little bit, but it's also, yeah.
That's cute. I wish we got more of, like, Pichan stuff.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a lot of the time it only serves to be a thing Ranma can hold over his head.
Yeah, we don't see him interacting with the family as, like, a pig. Like, there's a clip show that's just like Nabiki kind of breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience about all the characters. And when she gets done talking about Ryoga, she just like sees Pichan in the corner and it's just like, ha! And she like leaves and comes back with a tea kettle and then Ryoga's running away. She's like, wait, come back, I want to check something.
Yeah, like that's one of the weirdest things about Ryoga's place as Pichan to me, because literally in volume 2 of the manga, the rhythmic gymnastics thing, he jumps into the bath that Sun is in and transforms into Ryoga and walks away in front of Sun. And then Sun just never brings up the fact that his daughter's pet pig is a man.
Yeah, they treat that joke as like he's just kind of staring off into the distance like, yep, this is weird. Because I think that's also, I don't think he met Ryoga up to that point.
No, he had not at that point, no.
But he has seen Pichan. He doesn't think it's weird that like this stuff is happening. I think nobody knowing about Pichan is maybe perhaps the thing that you have to suspend your disbelief the most with in this entire series.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just a thing, but like, if it's gonna be a thing, I wish they did more with it. I wish we got to see his like domestic life as a pet. Cause also like over time, like early on, there are several chapters where like he's just in the house. Like they're having a scene and Akane's just carrying him like a pet. And like Ryoga's not important to that chapter. He doesn't do anything. He's just at the house.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of stopped doing that over time.
Yeah, so that and the fact that Sun absolutely knows unless he was passed out with his eyes open, I guess. And the fact that Pichan just disappears for weeks at a time, like, it's so weird from any reasonable pet perspective, but they just go with it like it's not...
Yeah, everyone just... It's one of the weirdest things of the shows. And maybe perhaps that's why Rumiko Takahashi stopped doing jokes or just carrying him around, because it's just drawing attention to how weird it is.
Like, again, in the rhythmic gymnastics thing, there's... Ryoga disappears for a few days between training sessions, and then Pichan shows up with, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some snack from Hokkaido and a different snack from Kyoto, and they're, like, tied to his little pig back. And no one even questions the fact that this pig has bought snacks and brought them back.
Honestly, that clip show scene with Nabiki, like, if not for that, I would have just assumed that, like, yeah, Nabiki knows. The rest of the family knows. It's just Akane. Everyone else is just like, yeah, that's Ryoga. He lives with us. Sometimes he's a pig. Sometimes Ranma's a girl. Sometimes Shampoo's a cat. Like, that's just how people are in this town.
Honestly, I really appreciate that interpretation. Yeah, Ryoga lives with us whenever he can find this house. That's okay. We have weird kids here.
Anyways, Azusa's back.
Incredible.
Like I said, they just keep bringing her in for like little filler. Like, we need more playing cards. Bring in Azusa.
Unfortunately, I don't have a translation for this one, so I don't know what she's taking here.
You just heard the name Centauro. I think she's trying to take his horse.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
That's what the image in the card is. But yeah, and then after that we get more covers. This is a good one. It's the Ranma song. It's kind of funny how like the lyrics to this song are like I said, this song has Ranma's name in it. This was written for the show.
Yeah.
This was written basically with Akane's perspective in mind. So it's interesting that they made Shampoo sing it.
Yeah.
Like, it fits, kind of. Like, it's similar to the Kodachi one, where, like, the lyrics don't match, but, like, the voice and the instruments do.
Yeah, she's really good at this.
Again, this is one of the voice actresses that they made an idol group out of. So, like, yeah, she can sing. And the next one is my favorite of the covers. If anyone wants to look up Don't Mind Lai Boy and find the Akane version, I think that's my favorite.
I did like that guitar flourish at the end of that last one. That was great.
Yeah. Part of why I like this is also the karaoke instrumentals. I liked it. It sounds nothing like the instrumentals of the original song, but they're still good.
A lot of good vibes on this album. A lot of songs that I wish were full songs.
Yeah. Even the covers, they're singing short versions of like when Kasumi sang Zettai, she only sang like the first verse. And that's it. This might also be why they had Shampoo sing the other song, cause this song is way more Akane coded. It's singing about the boy from China, which if Shampoo sang that, it would sound like she misses some guy back home that she hasn't seen in a while.
Was fun, yeah.
And then the next song has some history to it. So these are not Ranma characters singing this song.
No, they sure aren't.
This is a song, this is a duet between Yoshie Hayasaka and Michio Nakajima. Sing a song called Theme Song Girls Song.
Yep.
These are two of the singers that sang Ranma themes. They just get a little cameo here. And it's kind of funny because with the playing cards, it's all art, but then you get to this one and it's just an actual photo of the two singers.
Ha! I do enjoy the bit of this song. This is a fun bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's... I guess Yoshi is the one who did the opening tune and Michio did an ending tune. So it opens with, like, it's Good Day with Yoshi's song and Goodbye with Michio's song. It's... Even though these songs are only 30 seconds, you only get to hear them once a week, and that's really sad, so you should just sing them all the time.
That's cool.
Akane and friends, Ranma and his fiancés. Would he want to be, can he be? What if we make him nice, can we do it? This is one of the translations I don't super trust.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it just ends with, we are the Ranma theme song girls. It's cute.
That is cute. So specifically, these are the singers for Zettai Part 2 and the Poppy Flower song.
Ah.
That's the one that got paired with, like, Akane with the umbrella.
Yeah. I think we heard it earlier today, too.
Yeah, it is interesting because I don't think that opening and ending were paired together. I think one of them was for season 4 and another was season 5. So, like, I don't think there actually is an episode where you start with Yoshi and end with Michi.
Well, that's too bad.
But they're still the Ranma song girls. But yeah, they do reference those songs. So, like, there is a part here where she just sings, like, the opening line to Zettai. Like, they're just mixing the two songs, and I think that's nice.
Yeah.
This is the thing I was referencing earlier when I revealed, like, by the way, I found out there's a Zettai Part 1. It's because of this song. Because I was like, I want to find more context for this. And I finally found Zettai Part 1 when I did so. Which wasn't the context I wanted, but it's good to finally know.
Yeah.
Anyways, they of course give the principal a little ukulele solo after this.
Yeah, uh-huh.
What else are you going to have him do?
Wow. To you listening to the Ranma album, I've got a big present for you. That's my wonderful song. Ha 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 ha, etc.
It's interesting that he gets to break the fourth wall.
Yep, uh-huh.
Anyways, shoutouts to Ling Ling and Lang Lang for being
really?
the only anime-exclusive one-offs in this album. like Sasuke's there, but Sasuke's part of the main cast.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like, Ling Ling and Lang Lang are in 2 episodes. It's, well, at the time of recording, that hasn't come out yet, but I did talk in that episode where I mentioned them, how, like, they feel like they should be important. They're Shampoo sisters.
Okay, I was just about to ask if they were literally her sisters or if it was like a sister-in-arms thing.
They are literally her younger sisters. They are part of Shampoo's family. And I just think it's so interesting that, like, these filler anime-exclusive characters are so closely tied to a main character.
Do you follow Western comics at all?
I don't usually read them, just what I hear from other people.
Okay.
Which is more than average. I know a lot of comic nerds.
Sure. Mostly I ask because I want to say 3-4 years ago now, Spider-Man had a new character introduced called Spider-Boy, who insisted that he was Spider-Man's sidekick, but no one else knew who he was. And eventually the premise came out that he was from an alternate universe or whatever, and he just got dumped here, but it was so much similar that he didn't realize he was from a different place. But that's kind of what I get from the Ling Ling Lung Lung thing, is just, he's Spider-Man's sidekick. He's crucial to Spider-Man in that universe, but no one knows who he is.
Yeah, that is a very apt comparison. I like that. Because, like, yeah, the song, we didn't really comment much on the song. It's supportive sister Shampoo. They're just singing about how much they love their sister Shampoo.
Yeah, you know, it's nice enough.
Yeah, it's just, they're such fascinating characters. Like, they feel like they're so close to being canon, but they're not. And they don't try to make them canon, but they get featured here, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like, they get honorary status.
It's not really like a standout song, but it's nice, I suppose.
Yeah, it was nice to include them and just do stuff with them. Also, their first episode implied that there are other members of Shampoo's family that we just never see again, even in the filler.
Oh, wow.
So it's just Ling Ling and Lang Lang, but, like, yeah, interesting characters. I'm glad. I guess I'm glad they got their own song. I like their personalities. They're kind of cute. They're just these. I compared them to, like, Kids Next Door characters. They're just these little bratty kids that, like, they're competent, but they're also still children. So, like, I think they fit in.
There is a level of, and this is just me nitpicking, understand, but I do have a level of, like, well, they don't really follow the naming convention, right? They should be called, like, Conditioner and Soap or something, but...
Yeah, that is a problem. Listeners probably just heard me say this in the previous episode, but, like, I couldn't find the actual quote, but I've heard it claimed that Rumiko Takahashi doesn't like stereotypical Chinese names that are repetitive.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good thing in her favor, yeah.
Yeah, which, like basically being like, I'm not going to name my character like Ping Ping or something like that. I'm going to name them after puns, like a Dragon Ball character. Like that's how we do it here.
Exactly.
And it's just interesting how, like, the anime then proceeded to make characters named Ling Ling and Lang Lang, who not only break that convention, but do the thing that she claims she doesn't like. Again, I couldn't find that quote anywhere. I don't know if it's true. I just heard it said, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty funny if that's true.
I like to think it's true.
Yeah, but, like, absolutely they should have been named after beauty products. The anime writers failed their opportunity there.
Absolutely, yes. Failed their obligation, even.
Well, on the subject of sisters, This next song, it's another skit, but it's an adorable skit. And I don't think you need to know Japanese to understand what's happening. It's adorable. It's just, I love that, like, when Akane hits pause and play on the little tape recorder, and, like, when she hits play, it, like, starts back up. Like, she doesn't start from the beginning. It just starts, like, a few seconds into the song. Because I guess she didn't rewind enough. Like, it's adorable. Like, just a little skit. Again, I don't know what they're saying, but, like, you can tell what is sort of happening. They're just sort of singing backups. They're singing the song with her. Akane just has the little tape player with her. It's adorable. It's just a cute little skit. And then immediately after that, we get another Azusa one. By the way, I didn't mention the last one. On this page I got here, they translated the name she says as Modigliani. Which, I'm like, I don't think that's how she says it.
Yeah, it's certainly not what I heard.
I think she was trying to say Mordrian or something like that, because it's like Modriani, something like that. Again, it's hard to tell what kind of, like, weird fancy European name she's saying. But this next one, it's Rapidusu. Rapidu. I think she's saying, like, rapide or something. And this one also makes sense. She's kidnapping the ghost cat. He's big and fluffy. But yeah, after all these punchlines with Azusa, now they get a proper song with her and Mikado, just the actual pair together. So yeah, of note, they were included in a single. I forget whose, but, like, one of the B tracks is with them, just because we need a second song. And
okay, interesting.
It's pretty much the exact same punchline. Mikado is trying to sing, but then Azusa's here, and she is just a bundle of chaos.
Well, that is kind of their vibe.
Yeah. They're so interesting. They're also in the music video special with the crowd scenes. They're so weird because they're like the third, like, or they're like the fourth rival fight in the whole series. Like, half the cast hasn't even been introduced yet.
Yeah,
but, like, it's so bizarre that, like, we have these one-off characters at the beginning when, like, we won't even start getting filler one-off villains for, like, another, like, 60 or so chapters.
Yeah, in all seriousness, it's like Ryoga shows up, and then Kodachi, and then Shampoo, and then Mikado Senzen and Azusa.
Actually, they came before Shampoo.
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes. I'm sorry.
Because the joke is, they're like, well, glad that's over, and then Shampoo crashes through the wall. It's like, oh, crap.
That's right. I was thinking of Shampoo coming through, yeah. I recall her coming through in the locker room, but I thought it was at the end of the Kodachi thing.
Yeah. They're there early, which means that they also get included in a bunch of early supplementary material, because, again, they got a single. Mm-hmm. They're in the music video special. It's like, yeah, this is part of the cast, which at the time consisted of, and I guess they're here too. It's just so funny how they get honorary inclusion early on because they were the only one-offs for some time. They feel like they'd be coming back, but they never did.
Sorry, just out of curiosity, do you think of them as, like, a romantic couple, or is it just a skating pair, do you think? I always thought, I think what Rumiko Takahashi should have done
was have them coming back, but every time they're doing a different pair-based martial arts. Like now they're doing martial arts ballroom dancing or martial arts tennis, and just they just show up for anything that requires two people.
That does sound like a good bit.
Cause like they're so interesting because like they don't seem to like each other.
They don't, and Mikado is constantly trying to kiss other girls.
Yeah, and Azusa doesn't mind. They don't seem to have a romantic connection. But, like, they're also perfectly in sync. They fight as one. That's the whole point of the fight. Their signature move is, like, it's called, like, the breakup swing or something that, like,
yeah, the couple
pretty
cleaver.
The couple cleaver. Any couple that fights them will inevitably break up.
Well, rather, the couple cleaver, then that leads into the goodbye whirl, because they have multi-stage moves.
Yeah, but, like, the fact that they're so synchronized, I always interpret it as maybe, like, a sort of double tsundere thing like Ranma and Akane have going on, where, like, they say that they're not into each other, but I don't know, they got good chemistry. They do everything together. They're always together even when they're not fighting, so they clearly spend time together outside of combat. They're just hanging out, even though, again, they act like they don't even like each other. But, like, I'm like, I don't know. Imagine if, like, you're someone who sees Ranma and Akane, like, once a month, and every time you do, they're arguing.
Yeah, true.
You'd be like, why do these two even hang out together? You know? That's the vibe I get.
Fair enough. Never really sure how to take those two, because they sort of act coupley, but then they don't talk to each other coupley.
Yeah, I feel like they just, neither of them has realized their feelings for the other yet. Like, I feel like Mikado is constantly picking up girls, but I feel like if he ever got serious with a girl, rather than just trying to kiss a random girl that he's picking up on the streets, that might get Azusa's attention. Similarly, Azusa doesn't seem to show any interest in anyone. She just wants cute little animals and things to collect.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if she expressed, if there was a rival for Azusa's affection, I feel like Mikado would take note of that. I feel like he might get jealous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, double tsundere thing. I think that they don't seem to enjoy each other, but they might get jealous.
I do think there is a pretty high statistical chance that if he ever had a serious girlfriend, she would kidnap the girlfriend and rename her Francois or something.
Yeah, or the opposite of, like, this girl is not cute at all. You're not allowed to date her. You're only allowed to date cute girls that I can dress up in pretty outfits.
Fair.
Again, they're introduced so early in the series before half the cast is even there. I feel like they could have very easily been brought back for all kinds of stuff. Like hell, we were talking about the Pichon thing. Azusa also knows that Ryoga is Pichon. She noticed, because in the fight, she notices that Ryoga's little collar is the same one she put on Charlotte.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Because she does say that out loud, and then Ryoga's just like, don't be ridiculous, that doesn't make any sense. And they never come back to it.
Yeah, and then, like, at the end of the fight, we just never see them again. But, like, they're written as if these are characters that will be back. Like, why would Azusa just not come back for Charlotte? She loves this pig. The whole point is that they're fighting for it, but Azusa's just like, no, this is my pig. Go away. Like, she doesn't seem like the type that would honor the agreement.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, literally, the arc before that one is the fight with Kodachi, where, like, they're like, oh, loser gives up on Ranma. But then Kodachi loses and she just keeps coming back anyway. She's just like, yes, now my feelings have begun anew. And this new crush is what I'm going to pursue. Like, I feel like Azusa would do the same. Why would she just give up on Pichon? But yeah. The other reason I never stated for why I wanted to do this album is that it does give me an excuse to talk about these minor characters that I'm like, when am I going to talk about the figure skating pair? Like, they don't deserve their own episode, but, like, gotta talk about them somewhere.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Yeah, mostly I'm just curious, because, like, I have just started rereading the comic recently, because I needed something to read, and I have all of the comic. And
Yeah.
in the panel where Mikado passes out, his training partners write all over him. And some of the things they write include the phrase, sex-obsessed neurotic, and give me my girlfriend back. So, that really suggests to me that they're not together, but then they're always together, you know?
That sounds to me like one of the teammates, like maybe Mikado flirted with a girl, but she was dating one of those hockey player guys.
Yeah.
So, like, again, like, Mikado is constantly flirting with girls, and Azusa doesn't seem to care. Like, neither of the two act like they have any romantic interest each other. I'm just saying that, like, that's because they're safe. But if anything threatened that, I think both of them would absolutely get jealous or irrationally upset over very minor petty things. They might be one of the biggest, like, I wish these characters stuck around characters of all the one-offs in the manga. Because yeah, like I said, I think it would have been funny for them to just come back and they just have different doubles-based martial arts every time. Because there's also the question of, like, well, how are you going to keep doing figure skating? Do they have to go to the ice rink every time they show up? But, like, no, just have them do different things.
I think my favorite part of that specific situation with that fight is when it's revealed that skating rink is made by freezing a swimming pool, which is like, okay, that's entirely preposterous. It has to get so much colder to freeze a swimming pool because of the chlorine and other chemicals in it. It doesn't freeze at 32 degrees. It has to get to like 20 degrees.
There's some fun... The early arcs definitely have more goofiness to their setups a bit. Again, eventually, once we settle into the main recurring cast, we stop getting those moments, but, like, I do miss the early on of, like, again, Rumiko Takahashi feels the need to, like, explain weird stuff. Like, you can't... If this was a later story, I feel like Ryoga would just punch the floor and then suddenly there's water everywhere. But early on, we need to have a joke about, like, yeah, we froze the pool, and then people make a joke about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, we're more or less done with all the characters, because we've only got 2 songs left, and the second to last one is The Ballad of Ranma and Akane, which is the ending theme to the OAVs, the early ones, before they started doing the music videos.
Okay.
I hate that ending theme. I don't like it. I think this cover is much better. Because the original song, it's so weird. They have, like, a full orchestra and choir in the background.
That is strange.
Yeah, it's this whole thing. The visuals are, like, all this, like, space galaxy stuff. I'm like, what is even happening here? It's trying to be so serious. Whereas here, it's just, like, an acoustic guitar. It's just Ranma and Akane singing.
Yeah. This is nice.
This feels like them just closing off the party. Like, okay, guys, one last song for the road. Everyone, it's been fun. Drive safely. This sort of thing. Jingle. It feels more appropriate for this song and the lyrics as well. It's the Ballad of Ranma and Akane. It's just a cute little duet. No punchline. I feel it makes more sense as, like, a cute little karaoke thing than the original song that tried to be epic and grand.
Yeah, that's nice. I like this version.
Yeah.
But also, it's a cute little love song.
Yeah. They did manage to fix a song that I straight up dislike. So, good on this album. And once again, this is such a karaoke album guitar. So, in the original, instead of a guitar, this is where the grand orchestra would kick in.
Oh, I don't
and the
like
choir.
that very much.
And I'm just like, I don't think I like these vibes. Guitar, though, that makes more sense.
I kind of wonder if there's a little Ballad of John and Yoko DNA in there, but it's not a lot if there is.
Maybe. Anyways, this is the last song. It's this one. It's Lambada Ranma, but with a twist. They changed the lyrics so that when they do the roll call, they roll call the characters from this album.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, so this is just straight up a different version of this song with obviously the main characters first. Also, for some reason, they keep having Akane making these noises like, eh. I don't know why. That's not in the original. But yeah, this version includes like everyone. We're doing the roll call. Everyone who was in this album, join in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about those noises. I don't know what that is.
But yeah, I think this is a cute way to end the album.
Yeah, this is nice. Especially
Yeah.
if you don't necessarily know who the characters are, this is a good way to get a refresher.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they could have started the album with this.
Admittedly, yes.
But like, yeah, the previous albums felt like the signing off, and this is just like, here's the bonus track. We got all the voice actors for this, let's have them do a little roll call for the end. You can feel how, like, they had to really work to get some of those names into the beat. I think my favorite is when they get to Ling Ling and Long Long at the end, and they have to say the name really quick. Because, like, Ling Ling Long Long.
I could have done them separately. You could fit a Ling Ling, da 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 da, Long Long, da da. Yeah. They don't have to stay together.
Yeah, true. But also, they got, like, several characters. Also, unfortunately, Ling and Long Long don't have a lot of unique personality. They are twins. They kind of act as a unit.
Yeah, cartoon twins. I know how it goes.
Yeah, that's how they go. Usually with filler, they're extremely safe. They play it safe. They don't want to write stuff that might interfere with the manga too much. So I find it interesting the few times that they do something that, like, well, what if Rumiko Takahashi writes a story about Shampoo's family in the future? Why would you give her siblings that are exclusive to the anime? That's so bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, she sees the anime and adds your characters into her comic, and then you're like a legend because you added to the canon. Worst case scenario, they were busy that day and couldn't show up for the story plotline.
But, like, yeah, that was Fighting Songs Karuta. I like this album. I think it's a cute use of the characters. And again, it has the same energy as that Christmas special, where, like, nothing's happening, we just have fun little bits of the characters interacting with each other. And I think that's when the series is at its best. That's the best use of characters, is to have them interact with each other, as opposed to just having weird, goofy situations. Sometimes you could just put them in a room and let the comedy play itself out.
Honestly, it's like, I don't know that I would listen to this as an album by itself. But if I were sitting here and, reading along with the lyrics and paying attention to who's doing what, I really enjoy it as almost like a radio play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost that. But, like, again, it feels like the music is in universe. Like, they're all singing karaoke together, everyone's at this party. It's not like it doesn't feel like it's meant to be an album, but yeah, like a radio play sort of thing of just, here's extra skits with the characters. And I think that's a good use of them. This is a good excuse to make an album.
Yeah, for sure. There was a time when a lot of albums that got released just had, like, little comedy skits with the band between the main tracks, and if I'm honest, I never really liked that, because a lot of times bands are not necessarily comedians, and they're just doing it because the label is making them, But this was a good use of that, this was a great use of that convention in albums at the time. It feels so real and lived in, it's great.
Yeah. So, like, again, this technically had nothing to do with Christmas. I didn't forget that this is the Christmas episode. But, like, yeah, those same vibes. Nothing's really happening, but, like, here's the family. Here's the extended family. We're all just here to have fun. We don't need a special occasion. In fact, this literally didn't have a special occasion. This album was not Christmas themed.
Absolutely. Like we talked about with the actual Christmas special, this could very easily just have been, we want to throw a party tonight.
Yeah. This was a thing where I was like, I don't know how to cover this, because, like, most of these tracks are just, like, 30-second bits. There's not much to say about them. There's a lot of those tracks where we didn't really comment on them much. It's not worth talking about them individually, but the album as a whole and
Yeah.
what the whole album is together of all the characters in one place, even if some of them are like that weird sick kid that nobody remembers. Like it's a fun concept. I think it's creative, and like as I said in like the music based episode, a lot of this is because the company that produced the anime was a music company. They were like, we got the resources to do this. Like, I had a hard time finding other anime that were doing this sort of thing in the 80s. And then by the end of the 90s, this was absolutely a thing that all animes were doing. All animes were doing supplementary albums. All of them were doing radio plays. Everything was doing character singles. This is like anime and the music industries being married to each other wasn't a thing that happened overnight. And you could feel how Ranma was like one of the first to get in there and do this and like prove that this is a concept you can have fun with. This is something I could see someone buying, before I guess it got oversaturated. And that might be one of the reasons why anime don't really do this as much nowadays.
And I mean, it definitely affected American cartoons in a way as well, because while it was never quite like this, for a very long time, we didn't get, like, soundtrack albums or whatever, right? We didn't have the music of the Looney Tunes, because the music of the Looney Tunes was just whatever WB had in their backlot that they had the rights to. It wasn't, like, fun character music. That a lot of the time didn't really start being a thing that you could buy until the late 90s. And again, it's kind of gone these days, but there was a time where you could buy the albums, the soundtracks, the music from the show, and just have it on disc.
Yeah, the scores, like the soundtrack, that's been around before, but like, Ranma was one of the first ones, and again, I couldn't find other examples. I'm not going to assume it was the actual first one, but it was definitely at least one of the first ones to be like, yeah, but we can do more than just copy these tracks we already made and put them on a CD and call it a day.
For sure.
Like we've got the voice actors, we've got the whole recording studio, we've got the contracts with this music label so that we could bring in the Ranma theme song girls and just write a thing about them and just do stuff. Like, people had to write skits for this. They went all out. Like, they've got all these people already employed under this whole network. Let's make products with that.
Yeah.
And that definitely has a different energy compared to, like, later on, where it's like, well, we're making a popular show, so hire singers to be the voice actresses so that we can put out an album. It's just the expected thing.
Mm-hmm.
Versus we're doing this because we specifically as a company are already set up to do all this. And we want to make use of our assets to make more money, as opposed to, well, we have to do this to make more money because that's just what anime is.
So I mentioned earlier the My Little Pony Christmas album, right? Because of the whole Equestria Girls thing. Well, the Equestria Girls thing happened partly because Hasbro saw that people were making human versions of the ponies as, like, fan art, and said, hey, we can do that, we need to get in on this money. And the other part of it is because in the main show, Twilight Sparkle has a different voice actor for singing than she does for speaking, and they wanted to give the singing voice actress a character also, so they introduced a movie-specific character just for her. And that's part of why those movies got made. And I feel like that's the closest we've gotten to the way this Ranma album works in a long time now.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, we have these voice actors already, and, like, people are already doing this with the characters, like, it's not like someone in a boardroom was like, we need to make human versions of these ponies. It's like, no, we're building this off of what already exists, because that seems like a good idea that people will want to buy. We are seeing that people have interest in this concept. And then a decade later, we get entire gacha games proving that people love horse girls. So clearly they were clever. They would be ahead of the time.
Oh, you didn't play the My Little Pony gacha, clearly.
Oh no, I didn't know they had a gacha back then.
Well, maybe it wasn't a gacha exactly, it was definitely different, but it was an extraordinarily predatory mobile game. We're talking like $30 per horse.
Oh no!
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, all of these are still fueled and motivated by making money, but like, I don't know, I'm less cynical about capitalism when there is at least some creative effort behind the decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beyond just, this is just how it is. This is just how it's always been, so this is how you make money. And then when we don't make money, then something is wrong.
Yeah, uh-huh. That's a great way to sum up a lot of modern cartoons. We're canceling Young Justice because no one bought the toys. Well, we didn't make any toys, but no one bought them, so...
So, I hope these Christmas discussions prove just how much capitalism is the cause of and solution to all of modern day problems.
This was honestly really refreshing. I haven't felt like this about a cartoon product in a long time.
Yeah, I like this. Again, who else would think to do like, well, we gotta sell these calendars, so make an album. Yeah. And like, it didn't take long because this was 1991. By like 1994 is when we started getting like Sailor Moon CDs and stuff. But it's like, yeah, people learned fast that making supplementary material like this will take off. People will buy it. But yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that album. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me back on for this. This was incredible.
Yeah, I did specifically say when I asked you for this that I'm like, I need someone who knows about all the manga characters. Because we're just gonna be lightning rounding a bunch of them. So you were the perfect fit for this. I'm glad you were able to make time.
For sure.
But yeah, so I had fun with you here. Where can listeners continue to have fun with you if they wish to do so?
Oh gosh. Well, you can always find me on Blue Sky at Nobody Adams. That's Adams with 2 Ds like the family. It's kind of my whole thing. I'm also streaming actual play games for Random Rhapsody. So that's twitch.tv/Random Rhapsody. And I'm there every Monday. We play alternating games every other week.
Yeah, sounds good. And I hope everyone else at home is listening. I feel the need to shill it more and more. I'm slowly starting to get more views and comments on the YouTube uploads. So maybe I'll start. Who knows? Maybe people will start writing in if I keep mentioning ranmapodcast@gmail.com. the Gmail that has taken over my life. I am forever married to Ranma now.
Oh, that's right. That's your name now, right?
Yeah. So if anyone wants questions or topics you just think would be interesting to hear about and would want to write in, be like, you should do an episode about this. Who's to say? I don't want to be doing this podcast for like 5 more years. I don't think there's enough Ranma for that. I'm eventually gonna stop. So like, let's get as much Ranma stuff out the way while we can. Let's do that. And I hope everyone at home is enjoying stuff, because again, that's the purpose of this podcast, is that like, sure, you could just watch the reboot and it's like 24 episodes and you've already covered like the first like 60 chapters of the manga very quickly, or you could do the deep dive and find weird stuff like this.
Yes.
There's fun there. There's fun to be had, and it doesn't have to be Ranma, but as always, I hope everyone at home finds their thing to deep dive, because it could be this, it could be Western cartoons. I learned some stuff about My Little Pony today I didn't know about. There's always new things to discover. So, learn to dig in, folks. Do some digging. You never know what you'll find. You might find the Zettai Part 1, which exists. It exists! They made a Part 1! It wasn't just a name!